What's going on, guys? This episode is brought to you by True Classic Tees, the best t-shirts on the market. And if you go to trueclassictees.com/RBP, you get 25% off your order. Telling you guys, these shirts, this one especially, is my favorite. The color, the fit, the way it stays fitting like this after like an hour or so, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours is awesome. Very comfortable. They stay form-fitted, which is nice. They don't get all loose and wrinkly. I'm going to show you guys what trueclassictees.com has to offer. This is the website, and they have it all. So if you go to shop all, you can see here they have t-shirts, they got crew necks, they got collared shirts, they have long sleeve shirts, they have boxers. They literally have anything you could want in the material. They got some baseball tees here too. Nice. The material's absolutely awesome. Like, this feels so good. And the best part about it is it stays fitted properly. It doesn't get all loose and gross and baggy. So even if you want to wear it out to dinner, if you want to wear it to a casual setting, you're going to feel like you're wearing something relatively nice. Guys, get to trueclassics.com/RBP and get 25% off your order and get the best line of clothing you can get.
It's blurring his background. You don't want to blur your background because it's your advert.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
You just totally just negate. I want to know how to do. Now you.
Oh, why are you freaking? Why he's in space?
There we go. Now I'm in space.
There is a way. There is a way to like change the camera, like so you can cut and make your frame smaller.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do it. In this, it's a bit complicated. In this, I don't have to do it with like when I'm in my streaming and stuff. But
this one's better. This is where I want to be.
I think we'd all like to be there right now.
I'm going to Dubai at February 1st, February 2nd.
Ooh, what are you doing there?
Stem cells.
Oh, you're actually getting stem cells. Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to do stem cells for my kidneys. They're gonna.
Oh, you can actually do it for kidneys as well.
Well, it's for everything. That's what stem cells are for, right? They're for any.
I don't know.
I talked about this on the last podcast, but since you guys are, I'll talk to you guys about. It's basically for any degenerative disease. So anything like, what's that? That's nice.
Ooh.
You should leave that.
Leaving it.
That's sweet.
Any degenerative disease, like if your pancreas is shot and you have diabetes, or if you have kidney disease, or if you have heart issues, or obviously any like soft tissue injuries like tendons, muscle, all that shit. So
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, man. It's
I thought it was just for like local. I thought where you did I'm playing around. I thought where you did it was where it was meant to, like, so like knees, for example, bad knees, stem cells in the knees.
You can.
Okay, so you can do local as well.
So there's a process where it's called scaffolding, where they can set up the stem cells so they're injected into one area and they stay in that area and they work on
localized
work on that area, right? Or you can do IV stem cells where you do it intravenously, and if they inject enough stem cells, they basically go throughout your body. The way he explained it was they have a homing system that basically goes to where your body needs them most.
That's
so
really cool.
That I did a podcast with him, so that'll be up next week, and it'll answer a whole bunch of questions. But anyway, I'm excited to go. I'm not excited for the flight though. It's like fucking.
It's quite long for you, isn't it?
Dude, it's like 17 hours, and there's like a 4-hour layover in like Egypt and shit. I'm like, fuck, man. So
it's a 4-hour layover.
4-hour layover in Egypt. I thought maybe I could leave the airport, go see the pyramids, and then go back. Where is that? What are you doing now?
Just changing my background to the mansion from a game I like playing. You don't worry about where I am.
All right, are you here? Are you here now? Are you good? Are you there?
I'm here. I just like playing. I'm in the mansion.
Samson, how are you, man? How much weight have you gained?
I'm good. I'm still prepping, man.
Yeah, but you must have put on some weight. No?
A little bit, but only the last 2 days. But
comes off quick as well, doesn't it?
You only picked out for 2 days?
No, I picked out for 2 weeks.
Oh, for 2 weeks. And you didn't put on a lot of weight in that 2 weeks?
No, I didn't. I only start rebounding when I go back in the gym, don't I?
Let me see what do you have anything recent of what you look like?
Yeah, but it wasn't AJ posted it, not me.
Oh, so it's not on your page, it's on his page?
It's on his page.
AJ.
AJ's getting a free promo right now.
I know, right?
I talked to AJ. You know what? We might start working together.
I like
really?
AJ. I think he's sound. I think he's cool.
AJ. AJ's awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
I think AJ does, he knows a lot about bodybuilding. He does a lot with the news. And I thought, why not have him? I don't really do the news. We just do a podcast and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
He's passionate.
He likes the news side.
Yeah.
And he's Norwegian as well.
Yeah. Is he really?
Oh,
No,
I just
no,
got
he's
up
not.
on who you meant.
AJ's
He's in
Norwegian.
Norway, though.
AJ's Norwegian.
He's not
He's
Norwegian.
Norwegian. He's from
Listen
Jamaica.
to
But
him
he's
talk.
Norwegian.
Listen to him
Okay.
talk. He's like, hello, I'm from Norway. How is Yannicka?
Let's see what
Definitely
Samson.
Norwegian.
Let's see what Samson looks like after 2 weeks of pigging out.
Just swole. Just pure swole.
It still looked the same.
Didn't affect him badly.
He even gained any fat at all.
Yeah, but I always get that softer look, though, like that almost flat
Podcast.
look, though.
Yeah, still looks the same, dude. A little bit. There's a little film, but overall, he's still great.
I'll say it's hardly a film even.
Yeah, I mean, look at this.
It's not like you look wet. You know what I mean? Like it's still pretty dry.
Who said Samson had to bring his fucking chest up, by the way?
Oh,
That's just trolling.
That's
That's trolling. That's
Whoever.
trolling.
Okay. It was okay, fine.
That can't be a real comment. If there's one thing you don't need to bring up, is your boobs. Definitely.
The one good thing is, or the interesting thing that we were talking about on the last podcast, and I'd like to get your thoughts about it, Samson, which is you're going into this prep now already in shape.
Yeah, but the thing is, obviously, I got 2 weeks of pigging out, and then we kind of the thing is with me, I could come off a show and eat loads of crap and just relax and not go to the gym and not do anything, and I'll just pretty much just stay like that look right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I wish that was me, bro.
I start training, it almost feels like then I start rebounding, then it just starts blowing out.
The water starts coming out
Yeah,
and
the
everything.
water
Yeah.
starts coming out after
Yeah.
that. So that's what we got to watch out for now.
But I guess what I'm saying is, you're actually going to be eating more this entire prep. You're not going to be cutting calories the way you did at the last prep because you're already there.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking this prep here will be easier than anything I've been through so far.
But
How
aside,
many weeks? How many weeks? Sorry, is it?
It's like not 8 weeks.
So it's like you got to do like 3 weeks of work in that time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but I think
Lovely.
what I'm trying to say is, so I'm hoping, and I'm like hoping for you,
Yeah.
that your prep will not only be easier, but your prep will be better, because if you're going to
Yeah.
eat more the whole time, your training will be better.
Mhm.
Your condition should come in a little better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's almost like, okay, because we kind of looked at it that way and we're just like, you know what? This is the perfect place to be. Sort of like you can then push in more without having to sort of cut more food and anything like that. You just
Yeah.
And you've never started a prep like this, have you? You've never done like you've done shows that are close together, but not this.
Yeah, not this, not like this.
Yeah.
Fun.
And as far as health goes,
yeah,
I hope you don't get mad at me. I put it out there that you don't use very much shit.
I mean, I think most people know that. I mean,
no, they don't. No, they
No?
don't. No,
Wait.
they don't.
Can I confirm? Can I confirm?
Yeah.
Can I confirm this? It's shocking how little he uses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So for people who are like, "Oh, this is dangerous. He's prepping again," it's like, "Oh, he's not really using that much shit." So
if I didn't know, I'd say when he told me, I would be like, "You're full of shit. There's no way." If I didn't know him, but I know that.
Well,
it's
Man,
minimal.
dude,
remember
you can tell hyper responders. You can tell people that have good response.
I mean, remember when I came to Toronto last year to guest post for you? Remember that? That was just 8 weeks completely.
Probably had no juice at all.
I was just going to bring that up. I thought he was full of shit. I told him,
yeah, because I kept on telling you, kept on going, yeah, but you must be on like TRT or something. And I'm like, no, bro, I'm clean off. And you just did not, you just kept on going over your head. And I'm like,
James, he came down here to guest pose and he was like, look the same. Look the same.
Yeah.
Look the same as always.
Never once said, Fouad, have you got any, bits and bobs to help me out?
No, but he was full blown and he guest posed, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. But he, but after knowing him for a while now I believe him. But anyway, I'm excited. So the Arnold,
I'm telling you, there's people that are running a bridge that are running less than he ran for his fucking Olympia cycle.
Yeah. So you got the Arnold coming up in 8 weeks this weekend.
Yes. I heard you're commentating.
Yeah,
again.
commentating
Nice.
again.
Well, congratulations. Yes.
Thank you. Actually, this year I'm excited. I think they have an ESPN I'm not positive. Nobody quote me. I could be wrong, but I think there's some affiliation with ESPN, so I hope I'm somehow.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Cool. So but anyways, yeah. So I'm commentating again. I'm not sure if we're gonna have a hostile booth. I think we are, but it won't be a podcast booth. It might just be like a regular booth.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, so I'm excited to be there. But who are you looking at? Because I talked to Derek. I had Derek on the podcast, and he said he's not sure if he's doing it. Have you talked to anybody else? Like, if is Brandon doing it?
I have no idea. I literally don't know. I mean, that's why I think probably you're all excited for tomorrow when the list comes out, right? Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, the list comes out tomorrow. You should.
So kind of like excited to see what that is.
Yeah, I mean, as of the Olympia, there's only like 4 guys on earth that can beat you. So
no, that's crazy thinking. That is crazy thinking. The thing is, it fires me up even more because all it makes me want to do is work harder.
Yeah. What do you think, Ben? Who do you think? Do you know anybody who's doing it?
No.
James, have you heard anything?
I was going to say Samson's the only one. Samson's the only one that's being vocal about it. I haven't heard anything. So
yeah, I've heard you and who else?
I literally
I've only have 2 people there saying, is Sean, Clarida and Derek going to do it? And that's it. That's all I've seen.
Is Sean doing the Open?
Well, I've seen.
Well, he has to. There's no 212.
Yeah, and I've only seen something online, like, as you see these thumbnails. Is he going to be doing it, or I don't know? I think it's worth doing. I think he should do it as well.
Sean's an interesting conversation because it came up on the last podcast of where people thought he would place. Where the question was asked where we thought he would place in the Open if he did it. What do you guys think?
Probably about 8th.
You think 8th? Ben, what do you think?
They rewarded condition, right? And hardness.
I think we all
size wasn't matter. Size didn't matter in the top 2. They weren't the biggest guys in there, but they were the most on. And Sean is on. Pretty consistent.
I still feel like Ben. I still feel like 180 pound is still quite different than these guys that they're 200 and 20, 30 pounds. Do you know what I mean?
But he did beat Regan and Sergio.
Mind you, Sergio and Regan would place roughly where I do at the Olympia.
I had Sean. I think we all kind of agreed that Sean would have been probably 10th. We think.
Yeah, so that's fair. That's a fair.
We thought
ahead of Raphael.
Well, we thought William would have been too much for him, but he might have been able to get in over Raphael.
I think I'd have him handily beaten.
Really?
William. Yeah. So he would have been where I said in 8th.
Yeah. Right. I mean, anywhere in there. I don't know if. But then again, if you look at Andrew, like, could he beat Andrew because his peak was so
could have beat this Andrew. Could have beat this Andrew because this isn't Andrew yet reaching his potential.
And then there's Hunter, and then we had Samson. So is he in the Hunter, Andrew, William, Raphael mix somewhere in there?
Probably
that call out, yeah. That call out.
But
we're speaking from
hypotheticals. Yeah, I'm not going to emphasize.
Yeah.
Top 10, somewhere in the top 10.
Definitely top 10. Definitely top 10.
6 to 10 would be fair.
Samson, do you think he would have beat you?
I have no idea. Honestly, it'll be an interesting question because he's definitely going to be way harder than I am. But then it's like I'm over 100 pounds bigger than him.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay, what do you do then?
Yeah. You're literally 100 pounds more on stage. Literally.
I don't think the conditioning was that
enough to
far.
Take you,
it's not that far that it would have been taking you out. But speaking of Hunter, Ben, you knew this was coming. So on the last podcast we did with Neil, I was so interested in talking to Neil about the transformation from classic to open. I forgot to ask Ben about the Hunter situation, and people thought we were trying to hide something, and we weren't. I just honestly didn't, because I think I knew what was going on with Hunter. I just didn't even think to ask it. So let's talk about it. What happened to Hunter? Why wasn't he at his absolute best? What do you think? Samson, go ahead.
I still think he was way. I mean, because I remember being backstage and looking at him and watched him go on. And honestly, my jaw dropped when he posed. Yeah. And I was like, holy crap, okay, he's on. He's so until later on now that, people were sort of thinking, no, there's no way they can say that, he wasn't at his best or he wasn't better than last year. Hands down, he was way better.
He was better this year for sure.
He was better than last year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people expected, The thing, I think the mistake people are making is that he was 4th and they're like, now he was 7th, but it was also
Yeah,
a far different.
in a superior Olympia lineup.
It's a different lineup altogether. But Ben, maybe you want to talk about it a little bit.
No.
What you could have done better, or what you think you could have.
Yeah, I mean, look, the good thing with Hunter, we've spoken a good bunch since the first conversation we really had about the actual Olympia. We both took ownership of not happy with how things played out. We wanted better. Forget the placing. We wanted better for the look. We had a better look throughout. I showed you the Thursday evening. There are 2 things to really address in this. 1, the prep overall, and then 2, the peak. And there were a couple of things within both of those that could have been done better. The timing and pacing of things probably wasn't the best. We were holding him heavy for quite a while, all the way into about 6 weeks out. And I think actually we should have been moving him along a little quicker than that. And then we had to drag him down probably a bit too much from 6 weeks to a week out. So that was probably an error in pacing of things. I mean, there's a long off season, and so that makes things trickier. The body doesn't always respond as you're anticipating it to, and things were responding from like 20 weeks out to 12 weeks out real nice. And then at 12 to 6, we kind of stagnated and we lost a bit of time there. So that on reflection can be mitigated. And then in terms of the peak process, we know we learn a lot in terms of what doesn't work for his body and what does work for his body.
Can I ask you this? So I think your peak was pretty good. Like, I don't know, like Samson said and James said, I thought he looked pretty good at the show. I know he could be better, but just let me finish. Would you say that the largest error, if you want to call it an error, was the fact that you had to rush from 6 to 1? From 6 weeks to
I mean, you were there at 6, right? And then even you said that what we did from 6 to 2 weeks out was pretty drastic, right? It was significant, the change we made. And realistically, that process should have happened across 10 weeks rather than 4,
rushing it at
weeks.
the end.
Yeah. And we lost, we had to put him a little flatter than I wanted to. And there was just a slight mistiming on it. And like I said, we view it as a team, we view it as our error. And Hunter's he treats himself like an athlete. So he's like, look, this is, you win some, you lose some. When we lose, we go back and we analyze what we can do better.
Yeah. And
that's what we're doing. So, everyone wants perfection every time. And whilst that would be nice and that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah. That's
sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah, that's one of the things, Samson, I think you're very lucky with, because I saw, like, I was there at 6 weeks out or 5 weeks out, I think it was somewhere. I went down to Texas and saw Ben and Hunter, and they really like start cracking the whip at that time. But one of the things you're lucky with, Samson, is that, when your food gets low, your body holds.
Yeah.
Like you don't, and I think that's something that James struggled with last year, and Hunter, maybe it affected him this year too, because when they have to rush, the food comes down and the muscle becomes, you're playing this game. Whereas I think Milos is lucky with you, Samson, because he can feed you nothing and your body just.
Which is quite weird. I mean, we sort of realized that from last year that was what was, I mean, since he picked me up, he was like, okay, you know what, trust me, you ain't going to lose weight no matter how much I cut the food. Yeah. I didn't believe a word of it. I'm like, man, that's just full of crap. But it seems to work. And that way you can cut my food and diet me hard. And you go drastic for weeks on weeks on end, and it just looks like you're not even flat enough at all. And it's almost kind of like, you kind of feel like you're not suffering enough, because he would look at me and go, you don't look like you're suffering. And I'm thinking, I'm dying inside, man. This is internal pain. But, he just kind of pushes that. And I think that's just something that, it just seems like just be lucky with right now.
I think everybody
wasn't Phil like, go on, sorry,
go ahead, Ben.
I say, wasn't Phil, I've heard him say the same thing. Even when Hani pulled his food really low, he still kept the bubbly round.
Well, I was actually going to say there's quite a few bodybuilders. I've heard this line many times. I see people when they post it, they're like, I'm really flat right now. And in the comments section, everybody would be like, you're not flat, you look crazy. But I think only the bodybuilder themselves know what what flat looks like for them versus what full looks like for them. Like flat for Phil probably looks amazing to everybody else.
Yeah, we all probably think he looks tremendous.
But then you fill him out and you're like, okay, fuck, now I know what he was talking about.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah. So Ben, what do you think? So I have my own theory about preps and how they should go. And there's two schools of thought. So some people feel like a prep should start at like whatever weeks, whether it's 14, 16, 20. And they feel like they should ramp things up as you go closer to the show and then kind of stop somewhere around 2 or 3 weeks and then let the body recover. Whereas my thought process and preps are when you start, let's say you start at 16 weeks, I feel like that should be your hardest work. Like your cardios and everything should be at their highest because you're still eating a ton of food. And that should be the time where you start chipping away at that fat. And then you can ease up on the cardio as you get closer to the show. Do either of those, like, which one do you subscribe to? Or does the one I'm saying not make sense? Like, how do you feel about those two strategies?
The cop-out fucking answer, isn't it?
I'm just saying, like, because
no, I'm saying it depends on the athlete, how well they can retain fullness when you're going to push them in. I would much prefer and feel safer going harder earlier. Yeah, in the prep. Yeah, front load the first 8 weeks, get them in shape, and then tweak from there. And that's something I didn't do with Hunter because I wanted to hold on to that back. I wanted to. Yeah, the back was one of my main drivers. I'm like, okay, let's hold that back. I know he can drop body fat quick, but we sacrificed some of that fullness. And I feel like if we'd have done it earlier on, if we'd done it in the opposite way, it would have worked better for us. And that's a judgment call on my part that I'll take ownership on. But I do think. There's multiple ways to do it, but I do like the early on and then pull back and fine tune. Yeah, James, that's why I always feel like guys look better at their second show in a year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because they got most of the fat off now, and you can play with like a few things. Yeah. James, what do you think? Because you're doing your own prep. Well, I mean, with a little bit of Jordan's help, but most of it's coming from you. If you could do another prep right now, or I don't know how you did it necessarily for the Olympia, but if you could start right now and you were in your peak off season, do you think it would make sense to go, okay, I'm starting 16 weeks. I'm going to do 2 cardios a day now while I'm still eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories and just get chunks of fat off so I can ease up as I get closer. 10 weeks, you start doing 1 cardio, 6 weeks, start doing 30 minutes.
It's extremely hard to say because again, it's so situational in an individual. Some individuals can do that really hard push at the beginning and the body won't tire because the food's still high and they can perform still well in the gym. And then other people, probably like me, I noticed that I can tire quite quickly. And then unfortunately what happens is my sessions start to suffer quite tremendously. Yeah. And then my actual ability to train hard starts to go out the window. And then what happens is you just get this like snowball effect of a downward spiral for me. So it depends. It really depends. I can't give a definitive answer on that because I would like to say that it's probably the wisest thing to do in that order. Like really just push the beginning, get the chunks of fat off. Yeah. But I've done processes like that myself and still found that quite early on, even when you're in the calorie surplus, well, meant to be, you still notice muscle loss. And then muscle loss isn't because you're in a deficit, it's because your performance is shit. So when you're not stimulating a muscle to the same degree as you could because you can't go in the gym and train like you did, that's when I notice an issue with people like me. Some people get weaker in a diet or perform less and still hold their fullness. Yeah, you'll know with me straight away, like the minute I can't perform in the gym, I'm actually the opposite. I can my body's a bit of a trickery because I've stayed strong before and flattened out, but still stayed really strong. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's what's really weird. Like when I worked with Patrick, I didn't lose any strength, so it was hard on his behalf to kind of judge my body because I was still like deadlifting 7.5 plates 3 weeks out.
So you're measuring. So your primary data point, James. Sorry, Ben. Your primary data point is you're measuring your training. Everything.
No, what I'm actually saying, I'm trying to say that actually opposite. I don't know what that's the problem. It's so.
But you did use it as a metric at one point.
I used to, right? I used to use it as a metric, but then I've been tricked by it before. So I don't know.
The reason I ask is because I'm kind of like Samson. I don't know, Samson. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, like when I work with Chad or with Hani, especially Chad kind of had a similar process of Milos where he would cut my food so low that when I was around 4, 5, 6 weeks out, my strength would start to just go like this. Yeah. I would have I would still have the same strength for 1 or 2 reps, but then it would very quickly drop off.
It diminished quickly, yeah.
But they would just keep me there anyway. And I always got in really good shape. I don't know how much muscle I lost in the process, but I never felt like I lost too much muscle. So, and I think that's kind of what Milos did with you, Samson.
That is what he did, because I remember 7 weeks out, I was completely shattered in the gym, and I was thinking, you know, I didn't know how to carry this prep on if I can train hard enough.
Yeah.
You know, so he gave me like a half refill feed in the middle of the week just to keep me going. Yeah. But at no point did we ever kind of like back off and okay, right, just kind of ease off now.
Do you know what I think it comes down to? Whether your off season was truly successful or not.
Yeah, true.
But so, I wonder
because Fouad, if I don't think I've personally ever had a truly successful off season. I don't think I've ever really put on much more muscle than before, and therefore not actually had enough to carry myself into a prep and come out at the end with much new.
You really think that?
I do to a degree. I think Samson's been a lot better at accumulating a good level of muscularity in an off season, so that when he diets, even if he does push hard and there's a small sacrifice, he comes out at the end still with an improvement. Whereas people like me, unfortunately, haven't been able to develop quite enough muscle, so that we shy away a little bit of pushing that hard because we're in fear of losing that muscle because we haven't quite accumulated enough.
Wait, I like what you're saying, but I don't know if I agree with it for one reason. So, of course, James, I'm kind of like you in a sense that, and if I'm off on this, just let me know. But the way we grow is very slow. Like you didn't start lifting at 20, and then all of a sudden at 25 you were fucking like
no. Like if you watch Samson's 2000, I was looking at Samson's thing in 2009.
Yeah,
I was junior Mr. Britain. I was considered like I was junior Mr. Britain, and then from there to now, Samson sped up 7 times faster than me.
But this is what I'm saying.
I was already involved in this and growing slow compared to Samson. Is what I'm absolutely.
Yeah, but this is why I'm saying people should never compare to other bodybuilders.
No.
And I learned this really young, because I always tell the story about Lou Joseph, a guy that started lifting with me. He put on all his muscle in like 2 years. Like honestly, 2 years into lifting, he looked like he had a pro level physique already.
Yeah, I'm just changing my background to Seb Brighter, just not just for you.
But for me, it was like for me, it was like 5 pounds a year.
Yeah,
and it took me all the way till I was 35 to hit my peak. So you can't compare. I think your off seasons have been successful, James. I just think you grow at a different rate. Like Samson's more of a, you know what I mean? Like it's overnight for him.
You'll get, but you also get some bodybuilders. I've noticed this where 90% of their growth happens within a rebound.
Yeah,
right. And then they're just slow for the rest of the off season. And then you other guys that can just stay in a long off season and just steadily just keep putting on tissue. You know, like I think it depends on response.
I think what I'm saying is if you take somebody like Samson, I'll put him in the same category as Phil Heath, and I don't mean competitively yet. I just mean as far as growth, because Phil came on and it wasn't long.
2005, to 2007 to 2005 to 2008, he tremendously grew.
Yeah, it was such a dramatic.
The Iron Man from the Denver, totally different.
So even if you look at Samson from the time we signed him, which was 2 years ago, Samson,
same kind of progress.
To now, it's a totally different bodybuilder. So
what was that one you put of? I think you put a picture up of Prague. 2018 or 19.
When we did Prague.
I looked at it and I was like, you don't have any arms. Like you're like this, and your biceps really. I'm like, and I actually, I'm not being rude.
No.
He just took 6 in the world. I can say what I want about how he used to look.
It's still funny.
But I looked at it, and before I'd read or saw the stage, I was like, oh, that was when he was an amateur.
Yeah.
No, that's pro.
And I looked at it, and it was a Prague Pro show, and I was like, oh fuck,
top 5, bro.
That's crazy how.
When we signed Samson, and I'm going to talk about you like you're not here, Samson. Sorry, but
right.
When we signed you, the silhouette was there, but it wasn't filled out.
No,
I think this is why Evan and that didn't get what me and you were saying.
What do you mean?
When there was we did an episode, and I said you have to understand Samson's going to be like front runner at Olympia, and they looked at his physique. And they said he's good, but they said they couldn't.
Oh,
I was comparing him to like the.
Yeah. We pulled up a picture of him and Flex Wheeler.
Yeah, and I said, trust me. Trust me. Like, keep an eye on him. And then I don't know if I can see it now. They can see it.
Yeah. Evan, I remember Evan was mocking us. He was like, "No." He's like,
"No, because he loves Flex. Obviously, he's a man." So he's like, "No." But I think if you were to ask Evan now, I think he was really blown away with what you brought this year.
Yeah, I saw his he made a video about saying obviously about me. I really appreciate it.
But going back to what we were saying, James, I don't think it's right for you to say you didn't have good off seasons. I think it just takes you longer.
but not as they don't bear as much fruit as some other people. And I think a lot of that comes down to, one thing I've noticed is that for me to eat enough to be able to get bigger, my stomach will give up before I can get enough calories in to be able to get bigger often. And that's a real issue. So now I'm trying to find a way this off season. I have to do like a zigzag. So I'm going to have to push up the food to pull the food back, to push up the food to pull back, because once that goes and you don't have digestion anymore, you can't put on more muscle. So it's now trying to configure how to do that in a period that's long enough and sensible enough that you're not forcing it, but you do see change.
Do you think you need more
reducing your training output?
I think I need a lot more food, because I can train with like 1 set per an exercise and still like I've gone as low as one working set and still not grown, because I feel like I'm still not getting enough.
James, nutrition. Do you think you actually need more muscle though? Like when I see you on the Olympia stage,
he's a bit more, man.
When I see you on stage, I don't think he needs more muscle.
You need to see this, yeah? Okay, so if you said to someone, if you're looking at someone, you're like, yeah, he needs to be a bit wider.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoulders need to be wide.
Yeah.
You can't do that without growing everywhere.
Okay. Well,
so that tells me the truth is you need more muscle.
Well, you need more. Maybe you need more delt, but I mean,
I'll say this as well. Does he need more? Does he need to get bigger so he can come down and be just as sharp at the same size?
Yeah.
That's something you could say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really weird because so weird. I need to like work it out. There's a few things, but yeah, size wise, it's not far.
Size wise, there.
Yeah, I don't see. I could have been a good bit tighter, and
what was the weight difference between that and when you did the Arnold and the Italy show?
Roughly, it must have been roughly the same. I didn't have scales for the last show. I didn't carry scales for the last show, but I just seemed to be more retentive there, and I did things pretty much the same. So it's just one of them things. Just you can see it like just soft. There's a film, like, and I tell you now that ain't body fat. Trust me, because you can look at me in the mornings, like I wasn't holding much body fat. I was just a lot more retentive for some reason at this particular show than normal.
Well, could it have been, look, could it have been how late? Could it have been how late it was? You guys went on it. Like
I don't know. I don't honestly.
No. There's no way. There's no two ways about it. I mean, if you look at every single pro show that happened this year, prejudging is at 10, 11 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you're a little sharper and flatter when you first wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. And everyone knows that by the time you're going to bed, you're fuller, but you're holding a little more water.
Yeah.
I even heard Honey said that Hadi looked better in the morning than he did at the night show,
I believe
in the evening shows.
Yeah.
You can't odds it. You have to feed these guys by the time they're on stage,
you can't not eat.
10:30. You're 6 or 7 meals deep in. Like, how can you possibly?
There's some small things I did as well that were different. Actually, there was one thing, I'll be very honest with you, is normally like when I start introducing things to dehydrate, I run them on like a cycle. So every 8 hours, I'm making sure I still do my protocol. And at this particular show, when I did my last check-in before the show, I was very nice and dry, and we came to the conclusion that we don't need to do another what we were doing.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it. So I'm not saying that would have changed, not able to maybe place any higher or anything, but just little things like that, these little notes you take back. You're like, okay, well, I stopped taking something that helps me obviously block aldosterone. And then there's a good few hours in between that we weren't expecting. There's probably a small rebound from that. Nothing crazy, but enough to, not be your best. And again, definitely could have been a bit leaner as well.
So can I ask you, James, does that mean, so what does this mean for next year? Like when you do the next show you decide to do, are you happy with the technique and the strategy?
We're close to, because I look at that physique there. The silhouette is the best my silhouette's ever looked in terms of balance and fullness. But I don't, two things ticked off. I'm just not happy with how much I managed to balance the water and the dryness.
But I don't mean the peak. I mean the overall strategy of like how
I think the strategy is close to.
Yeah,
the strategy is very close. So me and Jordan have spoke, and I'm going to kind of follow like a plan he's kind of doing in a minute, where you just do like an 8 week like rest, kind of a 6 week push, 8 week rest, 6 week push kind of thing.
No, I mean like when you're doing your prep, are you going to
that'll be the same? It'll be pretty. Yeah.
Are you going to stay with the same? Like I'm going to cheat every time I reach this weight, and then
I think so. To be fair, I think I could probably afford to push the cardio slightly harder. Yeah, that's what I will do. So I'll probably do like the same amount, but just up the intensity slightly, just a slightly higher calorific expenditure. I think the expenditure just could have been a little bit higher.
Samson, you got to try James's diet. You won't suffer as much.
Yeah, I'll opt for that any day.
But again, like say that he stays big without eating.
Yeah,
I lost. So after the show,
stage at that rate,
dude, after like the Olympia, just because I got the bug, after a couple of days, like a week later, I was still 275 and I looked slim.
Yeah,
like I was, so
yeah.
I don't hold weight.
Are you doing a show this year? Are you taking
no? I want this year off. I do honestly.
You're definitely taking the year.
For the whole 2023.
Yeah, I do.
We're gonna do travel vlogs, right?
Exactly. So there's other stuff. There's a lot of travel I want to do, and plus, honestly, I think for me I haven't had a year off since 2010.
Yeah,
I've competed every year, multiple times a year, except for last year was only one show. So like, I feel I owe it to my body to have a little bit of a freshen up, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll do any harm. Like I wanted to reach out to like Jay and Flex and ask them, how did they treat that year that they had off? Like Jay had 2002 kind of, the end half of it after the Arnold off, and then Flex obviously had 2010 off, and they made substantial improvements. So I don't know, like there is a time, I know Antoine feels the same. He feels like he needs to make some improvements from being in the middle of the pack to be able to move up. So there comes a time where you just have to make a decision. And could you get better and still compete this year? Probably, yeah. But if you don't feel overly confident in that approach and you do want a little bit longer, so be it. I think I have the right to have 1 year where I can spectate and watch Samson win the Arnold, and watch my friends do well in other shows, and I can just be a viewer.
Yeah. So Ben, come around time for Hunter next. Do you know what show he's going to do next? Do you have any idea? Have you guys talked about that?
Yep.
What are you doing? Can you say or no?
That's probably not for me to say.
All right, we'll leave that out. But when you do prep, have you guys talked about strategy? Like, what are you changing to fix things next time?
We've pulled everything to basics, and we're doing a whole revamp on everything. We're starting from scratch, basically. We're doing a full diagnostic on him internally. Dan Garner is coming in as part of the team. So we're just getting things lined up with them. Again, I'm not sure I should be telling you all of this, but it's, I don't know, fuck it. Sorry, Hunter, if you didn't want to.
Little tickle. Nothing wrong with a little tickle.
I'm not sure Hunter cares that much. Dan is very respected. He works with Sean O'Malley and a bunch of other pro athletes. So I've worked with him in the past. Actually, if anybody
wants to know who Dan Garner is, just look up the RBP playlist. I did a podcast with him. He's a performance lab analyst, very smart, and it's good that Hunter's seeing somebody to correct blood work and interior labs first.
My lab work knowledge has a ceiling. Yeah. And Dan takes it right to the top, and we're gonna dissect everything as a team. And work on everything all together. So yeah, we're gonna strip that back down, see what's going on with him internally, and then get him lined up. Yeah.
Let me ask you this specific question: is he still going to be drinking his food in the off season?
He isn't already. He's diet. I already made that shift, which was something him and I discussed a while back.
So you took that out. You've made him actually. Is he eating more?
Yeah, I mean, meal one is beef and rice, so we'll see.
See how long you boy.
I mean, look, I was honest with him after, and I said, listen, of everyone I coach, your diet is the one that I allow the most freedom on, really, because it works well. It worked well enough to get you fourth. So why would I was kind of at that point where I was going to allow some things that seem to work to remain in place. And we had a conversation. We both agreed that we want to do things
more traditionally,
meticulously, and I said to him in the prep, for as meticulous as he is inside the gym,
take that.
If he applied that, then he's dangerous. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited about it. I think to achieve the level he has, I think there's a lot of things left on the table that can.
That's pretty exciting.
So we'll see.
I think it's hard to tell somebody to change what they're doing when it's working.
Absolutely.
Right. You know what I mean? If someone's drinking their meals, even if you don't agree with it, but he's fourth in the world, or he keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you're like, how can you make somebody say, don't do that anymore?
Unless I'd coached somebody that had been more successful, it felt a bit contentious for me to tell him he was doing it wrong. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Like if I'd have coached someone that placed first or second the year before or whatever, then
I'd be like, yeah, well, so yeah,
I'd be like, listen, like, okay, settle down. But at that point, I'm like, damn, you took fourth in the world. I can't knock you for it.
Or even not only the placing, even if he wasn't making progress. The thing is, he's still making progress, and he still put on more muscle this year, even doing what he was doing. So it's hard to tell somebody when they're making progress to stop doing what they're doing.
I think that was one of the learning lessons that we had, and he's I'll give him credit for this, where he's allowing me that margin of error for our first prep, you know, because it was, and now we've lined some things up, and it was unfortunate we had to learn some lessons on that kind of stage. But I think if they are lessons learned, then it's no harm, no foul. You know, we can move forward from it.
It's mad because at this level, that's the only place that you learn now, isn't it? Like you literally, you only know under them lights now. It takes nearly a whole year for us to experience whether we've done things not right.
James, you do
things right, but you know what it's like.
Yeah. James, you had this exact same situation where you qualified over a year out.
Yeah, and then you spend this time,
and then that whole year is focused on that. And it's actually, I actually remember talking to Patrick on the phone, and he was like, one show in a year's tricky,
high pressure, nuts, high pressure too.
It's
hard. High pressure, but also hard to know that you'd think like one target would be a little bit easier to kind of focus in on and hit, but it's actually like one target's actually harder to hit because it's only one.
If you think about it, the last day, all the data you had is from a physique that was a year older, 5 pounds lighter, and now you've put on more muscle, and now you're like, okay, let's do this again. But all the data you have is from an old physique.
It does kind of become a bit void a bit.
That's where I'll give, and also, you know, when Hunter did the 2021 Olympia, he'd had a competitive season by that point, so his body was super responsive. You know, he'd like, I'd make a change, and his body would do them, and that's what I'm saying. From 12 weeks out to 6 weeks out, we were in this like real stagnant phase where the body didn't really do a whole lot, and that's me where I need to, now I can see that when it happens with him. And that's why it's a fine line. That's why someone like Hani is Hani because of that, you know, because it doesn't matter. He can nail it from that far out.
But let me ask you this, because I think dynamic matters a lot, right? So if I talk to Samson about him working with Milos, or if you talk to somebody who's worked with Hani, there is no conversation, right? It's almost like if Milos says to Samson, Milos, was there ever a time where Milos told you to do something and you were like, well, how about we do this instead? Or were you just like, okay,
all the time?
No, but were you like, no, I mean, were you not necessarily like, did you do what he said or not? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. That's fine.
Oh, yeah, there's most of the time, like with most of the things he will say, and he will sort of bring up suggestions, and we sort of sit down and talk about it. And, you know, if I think like, okay, yeah, you know, especially when it comes to like anabolics and stuff like that. Because,
other than that, I'm talking about.
Other than that, oh, diet wise, yeah, he would be like, okay, you know what, I want you to cut more food. I want to, you know,
You know. So the one thing I'll say is when it comes to anabolics, everybody has their threshold of what they want to use.
Yeah.
But I mean more in terms of diet or whatever,
nutrition, like training.
Oh yeah, that's a little different. So if he said to do something, were you like, I like this better, or was it a team effort, or was it more of a you're my coach, I'll do what you say?
Most of the time, I mean, I think because at one point he wanted to put me all on just whitefish.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I do that. You know, and we kind of like went back and forth for it a while. And I said, okay, look, I'll give you this. I'll change my last 2 meals, or I'll change my last meal to whitefish. How about that? And we sort of found a middle ground in there. But most of the time I think he will just kind of say, okay, you know what, this is the changes I want to make to your meals, whatever. And I just like, okay, cool, we'll go with that. I might debate or ask him like, are you sure he's wise or anything like that?
You got like some serious like backbone. I like that. You got the backbone, bro. No, I ain't going to fish. Fuck you. Like, most of us are like this. Most of us have been like
suffering and tired at the time. And then he's like, okay, you know what? I think, you know, to really thin out your skin, I think you need to switch all your we'll switch all your chicken breast and stuff to white fish. And I sort of looked at him going, dude, you crazy. Like, seriously? I'm like, nah, man, this is gonna be a very short prep if you get me doing that.
I like that. I've not heard many people just like stand up for their feelings towards whitefish like that.
Okay, but wait a minute. This brings up a serious point though. So are you supposed to, when you have a coach, other than anabolics, because the anabolics have a personal threshold, when you have a coach, are you supposed to just say, I hired this person to get me in shape, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and do whatever they say?
I don't think so. I think you got to discuss it. To a point. Because I think some things you probably know in the past, especially you've been competing for a long time, some things you already know your body doesn't respond to in the past. So if the coach suggests something and you know you probably tried it in the past and it doesn't work, I think you have to open your mind and say, look, I've tried it in the past. I mean, I don't know your way we feel, but I tried it in the past, it didn't work for me, or it wasn't the wisest thing, you know. And you kind of discuss it back and forth, because I know that happened a lot when I obviously started with Milos. It's like loads of things, like even my off season, in terms of like changing food and stuff, he already just saw what I was doing already and he just adjusted it. He didn't just throw it out and say, okay, I want you to do this now. And most of that thing where we had to discuss it, like, okay, why are you doing it here? Why are you having this much meal? Why are you having shakes? Like something like even having shakes in between meals in the off season. I don't think he does that with many other people. He only does it with me because I was already doing that. And he just looked and said, okay, it works.
Keep it going, it's doing what it's doing.
Keep it going.
I think back to like working with coaches, and no matter what coach, right? Like I'll take Hani, for example, or John was probably gave me a little bit more team effort. But when I work with Hani, for example, he would just be like, do this. And that's it. The only time I had something to say was like, you know, like something like sweet potato may bloat me more than like regular potato. So I'd be like, sweet potatoes bloat me. He'd be like, okay, do this instead. But like for the most part, there was not really a discussion. So I don't know. James,
no, I've been like that. Like when I used to work with, like when Steve Avery and my guys used to help me back in there, I didn't question anything. Yeah. Like in the beginning, I didn't question anything. But like Samson says, I think the longer you do this and the more you have experience with the effects of some of the decisions you've made in the past, sometimes you've got more to say. So you just get a little bit more like, oh, he's brought up some, like you said, oh, sweet potatoes. Oh yeah, I've eaten them before and they're not that great on my stomach. In the beginning, you don't even say that. In the beginning, you're just like, yeah, tell me what the fuck to do, and I'm going to just nail it. And to be fair, I miss those days.
But also, when I was 20, 21, 22, 23, I could put anything in my stomach and
it wouldn't bother you. Yeah.
Fucking anything. Well, Ben, now I'll put sweet potato in and I'm like, no, fuck. That's gassed me out. Like,
Ben, you're the coach. Do you have more success with the athletes that don't ask questions?
I wouldn't say don't ask questions, but
I don't mean that literally. You know what I mean? I mean like,
that I get a bit more direct, like
control.
Yeah. And you know, that is something that I brought up. Like I said to Hunter, like I probably give you more leeway, and this was like last week, and he looked at me and said, "Don't stop, just."
Well, because I feel like I've heard a lot of coaches say this. I don't want to work with pros anymore because the amateurs tend to just do anything and get it done, and they have an easier time working with them. Whereas pros, because what James and Samson are both saying, that you've been around for so long, you have all your own input that you want to add. And sometimes it makes it harder for the coach to just coach the way he wants to.
Yeah.
But that again, right? Something like that. Like we know that when it comes after the show, and if the result doesn't go anyway, I know for a fact, because we discussed everything and we decided or something, I'm not going to stand there and go, oh man, it's all your fault.
No, of course.
You have that, because I know that even like with the pre-judging this one, he wanted me to sort of hold off on drying out and leave it a lot later. And we just kind of looked at it the day before. We're like, no, we want to dry out sooner. So we kind of decided, okay, we'll go for a sooner look. And I know that now he's even saying that, oh man, you should have, because obviously where the pre-judging end went on as long as we didn't expect it. He was like, oh, you should listen to me, we should have, held off on it. But I think that is just like, it's a discussion that we sort of had. And I was like, look, we want to go for this one. And we said, okay, maybe it's best to do that. So I think it's always that point where it's not, okay, you just tell me and I'll do it, or I tell you and I'll do it. It's being able to sit down and sort of go backwards and forward and debate and sort of talk with each other and work as a team in that fact of, okay, whatever happens after it, we both going to stand there, okay, I put my hands up and say, I should have done what you said.
But that's where it becomes valuable. That's where it becomes valuable, when both people take ownership and go, okay, the next show,
we're going to do this.
Right? And that's what, but then you have some athletes where they're like, well, that didn't work. New coach, right?
Well, wait a minute. There's a reason why. So I agree with both people taking ownership. But in my own mind, when I hired a coach, I would do pretty much whatever they said, because I wanted to know what that coach could offer me. So when my prep was done, I could say, okay, this didn't work. And it wasn't, I didn't add my own, I didn't throw banana peels in his way. It was all him. Right?
No, but for instance, like some of the conversations I would have with Hunter would be like, okay, should we hold you here? Should we, how about we do a push from here to here? And right. So some of that, like, the game planning, shall I say, not the finite details, but some of the broad game planning, I think the athlete can have input in, and I think they should. I think they should be like, okay, let's if I run by, I think we should, like you said, let's push from 16 weeks out to the, and if the athlete's like, well, no, I think why don't we push from 10 to 5 or whatever.
I think I'm still old school in this manner. I'm just different than you guys. I feel like if I hire you to be the professional, like if I hire a John or a Hani or a Chad, and I've seen their track record and I'm like, okay, I'm putting my trust in this person. I want you to game plan for me. I'm not telling you what I want to do. I want you to tell me what to do, because that's why I hired you.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So
I've had that with certain coaches. When I worked with Aceto, that was exactly how I wanted it.
If I knew everything, I wouldn't hire you. So I feel like you're the professional, you're the coach that has a track record. You tell me where to go.
Yeah,
you tell me
that's why I took a step back this year and went with like me and Jordan bouncing, because I thought my personality isn't fair to a coach.
Why is that? Why do you say that?
Because I do want to be able to tell myself what to do.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really fair for me to take on a coach knowing that my personality is going to question things.
I see.
So I actually agree with you, but I think if you hire a coach, then you should be able to just go, yes.
Listen, I just want to say, I don't think either scenario is wrong. Like I remember Evan used to work with Chris Aceto. I think it was Chris at the time, or Oscar.
He's worked with Chris,
or it was Oscar at the time. And I asked him, and he said, "Oh, it's kind of a team effort. Like, we both have input and stuff." So I don't think either scenario is wrong. I'm just saying what I prefer. I put my trust in you. You tell me what to do.
That's how I was. I was like, okay, I will do fucking everything.
Yeah.
To the letter.
You know what though? Also, certain coaches have a different what's the word?
Style.
Yeah, but also like a different what's the word? Certain coaches present something different, and some coaches are known for being able to approach them and work synergistically, and some are known for how they are like literally in command. So when you look for a coach, you do have to take into consideration their reputation and how they approach things. Some coaches, when you approach them and try to tell them, rightly so, they'll be like, this isn't how I operate, we can't work together. And that's fair, because that's how they operate. Others would be like, I'm very, very happy for this to be a 50-50 equation.
Yeah, well,
so
I remember
it's knowing the coach as well.
Yeah, and on that example, I didn't work with Patrick for long enough. I could even use Hani. Hani was a very like, this is how I want to do things. He wasn't like militant about it. He wasn't like mean about it, but he was like, this is how I like to do things. This is what we're going to do. And I liked that about him. He took control of everything, and whereas John, we did very well together also, but John we had more of a conversation. Like, do you like this food better than this food? Do you want to, how's your body feeling? It was a lot more like,
I think that changes in you as well as you get older, like what you want from a coach. Like the longer you compete for, you might go one way or the other. It's very likely that some will go, now I want to actually have less input. I just want to be told later. Yeah. And it's also just as likely that some will be like, now I'm later in my career, I want to be able to have an understanding of why and more input.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Because when I worked with Hani, I was like 30. When I worked with John, I was 35, and I had a lot more experience under my belt too.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, okay. So we've talked about the Hunter thing. So everybody who, the funniest part about the Hunter thing, these guys, these fucking people that are watching the podcast think I'm like hiding from it for like, why did you hide from talking about Hunter? I'm like, honestly, I just forgot. There's no script.
You enjoy your previous conversation. Brother.
I actually got up and I walked away and I'm like, oh, I didn't mention Hunter. Like we touched on Dean, we touched on Neil. It wasn't until I got halfway down the hallway, I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't. No, all right, fair enough.
To be fair, good conversations shouldn't be all forced into one episode anyway. You should be able to have these, over a period of time. So
I wanted to show you guys this because I just thought it was funny. So I want to show this real quick. This is Big Freaking Neil. He's a fan of the podcast.
I saw it. Is this the story?
Yeah.
I saw this earlier. This is funny.
I thought this was really good. All right, let me get the sound on here first.
I was eagerly awaiting his answer. Like I was like watching.
I know.
It,
so was I.
Where do I fall in this?
Let me fast forward this one. Where are we? There we are.
It's not this one.
Why can't we hear it? Oh, that's why.
That's the top. Yeah.
I especially love. Fuck, this is a really hard question to answer. Okay. For the record, I'm a huge fan of all three of you. I have no desire to fuck, marry, or kill any of you, but I gotta answer this question. So here goes. We'll start with Guy. Guy would be pretty cool to be married to because he cares a lot about his home. I feel like he would take really good care of everything, but I don't think he would be able to live with me. I think I would drive him crazy because he's a little bit of a clean freak, right? And I'm just not. It's not that I'm a total slob, but I remember seeing on one of his vlogs, his dog drooled a little bit on his kitchen floor, and he just about had a panic attack and immediately cleaned it up. I'm just not like that. And I think that would piss him off. I think saying I want to fuck him would piss him off even more. So Guy, unfortunately, I gotta kill you, buddy. So my cardio literally just ended, but I'm in the thick of it now with this question. I can't just leave you guys hanging. So moving on to James. James, I feel like would be really fun to be married to as well. I think we get along great, actually. We're both large bearded men. We both play video games. We're both pretty chill, relaxed, thoughtful people. We don't need to be talking every second of every day.
He's really thought this out.
That said, of the three of you, James is self-admittedly the least, how do I put this? The least interested in sex. So I feel like if I choose to fuck James, it's going to be over really fast. And I don't want to fuck a dude, so by default, I'm going to pick the easiest lay of the three. And really sorry, James. I'm a huge fan of yours, but that falls on you. And then I'm going to marry Fouad. You know what? He owns the best supplement company in the world, in my opinion. So you know we're going to be financially solid, right? And I feel like we have a lot in common. We both have some social anxiety, so we can just chill together at home. Fouad, I'm not going to pressure you to go out. We just chill on the couch, eat, go to the gym. It's going to be great. Plus, he was super easy to talk to, and we got along great when I met him at the Olympia. So, yeah, I'm happy with my choice.
I messaged him back, and I was like, I survived. Yeah, that's the best. That's a glass half full. I was like, exactly.
Our fans are the best, man. That was fucking. I was off my ass off when I fucking saw that.
He sounded like he looked. I thought it was Dusty Hanshaw when I first looked. I looked at it like I was like, "What's Dusty got to say?"
I just love how well thought out it was.
Very, very.
Like,
that wasn't even. I bet that wasn't even rehearsed. That was like off the dome.
Do you guys think we should do RBP Awards this year?
I think you should always do them. I think they're really cool.
Yeah,
I think that's a nice annual thing to do.
All right, let's take a look at our categories. I feel like I want to add some categories to it as well. What did we do last year? RBP Awards. Okay, fan favorite. Who's the fan? Well, Nick won the fan award.
Yeah,
People's
fucking
award.
He won it again at the Olympia. So yeah.
So is Nick the fan favorite? Yeah.
Did they give you money for that award, or was it just about?
Yeah, he got like 10 grand, didn't he?
You get 10 grand for that? I thought it was just.
I might be making that. I might be making that up.
I think Ben.
I might have made that. I might pull that right on my ass.
You're just trying to make us jealous.
Sorry.
So it's fan favorite.
You know what is funny? The price, the scaling of prize money this year.
Oh, I know.
Oh man,
it's like 400. Then it's like
it was way better this year.
What do you mean?
What was it?
Hunter got 4th last year and got 40 grand.
Yeah.
Samson got 6th this year and got 40.
No, right? I didn't.
No, he didn't.
On the list, it says he did.
What list?
You better call somebody, Samson.
Oh, I better call somebody.
It says
40,
okay,
because I know 5th was 35.
The list I'm looking at, it says 400, 125, 100, 80 for 4th, 50 for 5th, 40 for. Oh, this is okay. This is ignore me then.
I'm like, damn, that's a different.
It says Hardy 400, Derek 125, Nick 100, Brandon 80,
What
Brandon
website
50, Samson 40.
Wait. What website?
Official IFBB.
Type in. Actually, it's Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
We can change that now to 1 million.
Wikipedia also says I'm a fucking multi-millionaire, so fuck that.
All right, let me look at the Bleacher Report. Brandon Curry 40, Big Ramy 30. Okay, so that one probably accurate. All right,
Samson, did you get anything for 6th?
Still waiting.
Oh, you haven't heard back.
Yeah, but what was the number they supposed to?
They don't tell you backstage. They don't. I mean,
so you don't know. You don't know what number.
No.
Okay, you're gonna get an email at some point. It's just when they're ready.
I thought everybody would listen. So when I did it, I was last. I got a check for $4,000.
Well, that was what like Lee was part of making happen.
No, I know. I'm just asking. Do they still give everybody?
I don't know if they do, bro.
Everybody.
Well, last year I got like 2.5.
What place were you last year again? I can't remember.
12. I think.
So you got 2.5. I feel like that's wrong, though, man. I feel like everybody who does
every man should be getting 5.
Yeah, like that's
you're top of the. You know,
I mean, this is the Olympia, right? It's like the Super Bowl. I mean,
it should be and the top 15 should all get something.
Yeah, I wasn't top 15.
Where were you? Oh, you were outside.
I was 16th, but I was actually 16th. There was 1 point.
Yeah, because you had the 79 on the.
Yeah, so I was like, yes, because everyone was putting me in the 16 category. I was like, no, I'm actually 16th.
Was everybody was 16 though?
No.
Yeah, everyone had 80, 80, 80, 80, and James had 80, 79.
So I was like, thank you.
So I was 16, but I didn't check the points, so I don't know if I was like.
Yeah, you might have been.
I should have checked
20th.
Yeah.
When I saw that, it kind of made me like feel a bit better about myself. So, okay.
No, but I think
it's fun.
I just think, look, it's great that the winner gets 400, but if they can't afford to give everybody else a check, they should take a little bit from the 400. Like, they should be 350, and you should give that other 50 grand. The last 10 people should get $5,000 each at least, or something like that. Like there should be some type of.
We might listen. I don't know. Might get, like Sam said, might get an email saying, because last year I didn't expect to win anything, and then I just got an email out of nowhere, and I was like, oh sweet. So it could be. There might be something.
I hope it is. I hope we're wrong, because I feel like if you're gonna do the big.
I think outside the 15. I think outside the 15 you won't.
No, not outside the 15. But I think the top 15 should get something, because they're placing them, right? So I think if you're placing, you should get something.
Yeah.
In the open or in every class.
Well, pretty much. It should be every class should have something. Every class should 15.
I don't know.
Because there's no, I don't discriminate any of the classes. I think every class. I'm not saying the money should be the same.
I do.
Yes, I don't. I just don't think the money should be the same, because I know that it's much cheaper to get ready if you're in another category than it is being an open bodybuilder who's probably taking fuck knows how much GH a year.
It's not that I'm discriminating against any other class, but you got to think who's putting the most asses in the seats. That's how but
that's why, again, another reason. There's multiple reasons why open bodybuilders should be paid the most, for sure.
Yeah. So I do think the top 15 in other classes should get something, but it shouldn't be equal to the open bodybuilding if the open bodybuilding is still bringing in the most ticket sales.
Get one of these.
What is that? What is that from?
That was I got that from doing a guest spot for Av Bells.
That's fucking sweet.
And I didn't even get a trophy for I haven't had a bless the IFBB. I do love you, but I didn't. All 3 pro shows I've won, it's been out of bad luck. It's been the 3 shows where they just give out a medal.
I like the medals more though.
I like them, but I'm like,
the trophy, man. The trophy.
I want a trophy, bro.
Like the trophies,
so that's why I'm holding on to this.
I don't have any of my trophies. I kept all my medals.
Dude, have you seen Flex's like trophy cabinet? That looks awesome.
Well, wait a minute. If you win the Arnold or Olympia, that's a different fucking trophy.
You can probably see that.
Like with a pro show, you get like a trophy, man. You can have a medal for participating.
Do you see? You see the wall there that I've got? I know there's a light, but see at the bottom. That's this year. That's the Tsunami Cup first place in the Olympia medal. And then above at the top, it's got my 2 wins from 2020. So it's like I just framed the ones I have. That's my little way of doing
there's my trophy there. This big goon.
You got to go with a big chin that looks like the head from Art Attack. You don't know Art Attack, do you? You know Art Attack? Have you ever watched that?
No.
Listen, if you search Art Attack on Google, that head, Art Attack the head, that is the same guy. I beg you search it, because it's literally the same guy.
What am I searching? What am I searching?
Just type in
Art Attack.
It's a British program. Brilliant. Neil Buchanan.
God, yes. Didn't he get himself in trouble?
No, he's in a rock band, apparently.
I thought he got.
You might have, maybe.
I think I got the wrong thing, dude.
Art Attack and the head.
Yeah,
there you go. Look. Yeah, there's your trophy now.
Oh, there we go. The chin. Yeah,
look at the chin. He was brilliant. That was such good times as a kid watching that. I love that. That's a British thing. It was a great program.
That's funny. All right.
Oh,
Fan favorite. Fan favorite. Nick.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick.
Which is weird because didn't Hadi win it the year before?
Yeah.
It did.
And then Rowley won it the year before that, I think.
I don't think they want to give both trophies to the winner because then it's kind of like.
Yeah, it'd be a bit weird.
Yeah.
They should if it's deserved.
A bit greedy.
I think Nick's more popular than Hadi.
Especially like from the young audience, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know. I know Hadi's like super fucking popular in the Middle East, so I don't know. But...
Did you see the reception he got back home?
Oh, man, that was crazy.
Crazy. It's great though. It's deserved. I think everybody.
The reception,
like
even Rami got that reception. See Rami's reception with the cars and
How did you do, Samson?
Oh man.
Just your wife?
How many people were waiting for you?
Oh no, your wife was with you.
It's a lonely walk back.
Like your dog. Your dog was there. Your dog's
a lonely trek back. Like, oh,
those fucking Middle Eastern people know how to do it, man. They got cars.
I know, man. It's like even when they come third, they get freaking bus on and everything. I'm like,
I was gonna say Rami was fifth, and he still got like a fucking parade.
I know.
Like, what the fuck?
Man, no.
Okay. Most improved. Samson.
Yeah.
Who could be? Who could
no
say?
Way. There's.
I mean, you could say Derek. You could say Derek, right? That's a big jump from 212 to
open second place. Open.
I mean,
but Samson went from 0 to 6th.
Well, all I'll say is this: placing wise, Derek improved more, but I think physique wise, Samson improved more because Derek arguably already had a lot of that mass, but he was sucking down. He was sucking down to 212.
Yeah,
and he maybe put on a little bit of mass this year, but he arguably had a lot of that already. Whereas Samson,
I don't know. I think he put on a decent amount.
No, I'm saying he put on muscle. I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm saying like
we probably could have seen something similar before if you hadn't had to come down for 212.
Think of the size Samson put on from the Arnold to the Olympia. That's only like a 3 or 4 month off season. That's a fucking huge amount of muscle to put on in 4 months. Like your Arnold physique, even we were talking about your physique at Prague. Even your Arnold physique doesn't look
like this now.
Remotely close to the Olympia placings or the Olympia physique. So, is there anybody else?
What are we doing? Are we doing most improved visually or most improved in placing? Because then one is one and one is the other, right?
Well, most improved in placing would definitely be Derek. Most improved. What I think most improved, I'm thinking most improved physique.
What you see in it? That's what I think as well.
I
could definitely put Samson in that.
When I think most,
I would lean towards Samson.
Yeah, I just think when you say most improved athlete of any sort, you think how much better has their game gotten?
Yeah.
Not where did they place or what show did they win or what you know. You think how much better have they gotten as an athlete?
Yeah.
I mean, is that Derek's? I know it's his first Open Olympia, but is his 4th Olympia or 5th? 4th, right?
He's done a few in it. He's done a few with JB prep, and then
he only went Tampa, Olympia. I think
he did 2. Right? I think he did 2 with JB.
Yeah, I mean, also if you look at placings too, he's been at the Olympia for 4 years, even though it was 212.
That's what I mean.
He's already
been outside of Tampa. He hasn't done a pro show that wasn't the Olympia.
Yeah, so Samson's gone from winning a small show to doing the Arnold to now 6th place in the world.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else other than those two that we would say is most improved? That you can see just came onto the scene and
Andrew, but Andrew was
he's not really anyway. He's been a consistent level. He's been good all year as
he's in a different. I mean, he's in a different category.
Be the best new. He could be
the best newcomer.
Yeah. All right, so we'll say most improved. Samson, if you guys are watching in the comments section, give us your suggestions if you have a different one.
They're just going to say. They're going to say that you're being a favoritism towards Samson.
Well, you know what? That's fine. Just prove me wrong. If you think somebody's improved more, because I can't think of anybody outside of Derek. If they made an argument for Derek, I wouldn't say that's totally wrong. I mean, that's fair.
It's those two.
Yeah, but I can't make an argument for anybody else that I can think of off the top of my head that's made.
I mean, Raphael, was he that much improved?
I think Raphael put some size on, but doesn't look dramatically different than the early show, the late shows last year.
Agreed.
James, you thinking of anybody else?
No.
I mean, Nick improved, but not as dramatically.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, so let's leave it there. Best ambassador.
Who's the best ambassador?
Well, hang on. Didn't we have this argument last year?
Well, last year we had our
definition of a.
So difficult.
I mean, everybody's got their own opinion. Last year we had the best ambassador, in my opinion, is not a controversial person. It's somebody you want to be able to show, like, if you show the IFBB to your mom, you're going to be like, this is the IFBB's superstar, and you'll show that person.
It's Chris Bumstead, isn't it?
I mean, he is definitely the best ambassador for sure.
And long shot.
But if we're talking,
if you're trying to sell bodybuilding to anybody,
you just showing them there.
You show him and they're like, "Daddy."
So who's the closest to Chris in open? Who would be that ambassador in open? Because I always think Brandon. But he's been a little quiet lately, so I don't know.
Brandon's public engagement isn't.
Regan's got that kind of thing, but then he's kind of got it. If he's a little bit more active on the front of socials.
I'll say this in terms of, like, and I'm not being biased here, Hunter did 18 guest appearances last year.
Yeah, he did a lot of guest posing. Hunter did, actually. That's true.
And if you talk about
that's ambassadorship,
working, like doing the J thing, doing the, like,
bringing in the people.
fans.
Would you say Nick though, or is Nick too freaky?
No, Nick's definitely an ambassador.
But Nick has the social media thing locked up, and I think Hunter has the traveling.
Wait a minute.
Meet and greet thing.
I want to ask you a specific question. Does the look, when you think the ambassador, like, this is the IFBB's product, this is the product that we're displaying.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Does the look matter?
I think it does. I think
because
it does.
When I show, like, if you show the average person Nick's physique, it's not necessarily the physique. Like, they're like, yeah, he's a freak, he's a mutant, he's crazy. But is it the one you want to be like, this is the IFBB? Like, is that the physique you would show? Because if it is, then Nick is probably the ambassador you'd show, because he represents hard work. He engages with the fans. He's, you know what I mean? He does all that shit. So would Nick be the guy, or is the look too freaky for the public? Nobody wants to say?
No, I just don't know. It's not that I don't know. I'm actually contemplating it.
Are we talking about the bodybuilding public, or are we talking about the public?
I think both. I think you could,
because if you're talking about my mom, if we talk about my mom or dad or the friend, like people outside of the sport, Nick is too much.
Yeah. But if we're talking about bodybuilding, Nick is probably the ambassador. But what about Derek?
I'd make an argument for Derek. I was about to say, I'd make an argument for Derek. He is super squeaky clean. Nick has the other side of him, the ass thing.
The ass man.
That thing, I feel like it's going to hold him back from ever getting that true squeaky clean image, right? Yeah. And he doesn't hide it. He leans into it.
Yeah.
Derek's super squeaky clean.
James, what's your thought on this? You're sitting there contemplating. I'm
contemplating, because it's like I'm thinking about, like, previous ambassadors who I've enjoyed being an ambassador, like Flex.
I think
people like that, and who can compare. Who can compare? I'm trying to compare to people like Flex and Jay.
I'm not doing this to kiss ass, but you could make an argument for James being in the conversation.
If I had the following, then I would. I'm not lying. If I had the following, but the appeal I have within my following on a grander scale, I'd 100% say I'm a great ambassador. I just don't have the following of a Nick or a Rami.
The content you put out and the engagement you put out.
Try. We want to be an ambassador. We care about it. People like Samson does as well. Like, we all.
Yeah, but
we actually genuinely,
because then you have a lot of things that you relate to the average Joe.
Yeah, try to.
Obviously, you get guys at the high end and they get that whole following and everything else. But most maybe average guys can relate to that.
But you don't always have to. But you don't always have to relate to be a good ambassador. Like Jay, there's a lot of people that never see themselves be the size of Jay, but Jay was still the product. Like Jay was
in the day, like almost like in a day.
Okay, I think what me and Samson see, like I'm personable.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily going to make you the ambassador of bodybuilding, but I am very happy with that position.
No, and that's what I mean. The relatability makes you human, but that's not necessarily.
No, I think you have to have more of. I would, for me to be an ambassador, the best ambassador, I would have to be like.
To me, when I think
you have to win shows and shit, man.
When I think ambassador,
I think you got to appear places.
One sec. When I think ambassador, I think, who would I put on the Wheaties box?
Derek.
Who would you put on the cereal box?
Derek.
It would be Derek with a front double bicep.
So I think you have Nick covers one aspect phenomenally. I think you have Hunter that covers another aspect phenomenally. I think you have Derek, which he just covers the board.
Derek will be Mr. Olympia, like if you're going for a squeaky clean American dream, this is the poster boy. Put him on the front box of cereal with a smile shining.
Christian,
Yeah, you know, he's been with his high school sweetheart.
And that's not me saying anything bad. I mean, he's just got that appeal.
He's been with his wife for like 12 or 13 years, and like he's got all the bases, all the boxes checked off, right?
He's got that sports person look.
He's made no slip ups in his career.
Not really, no.
On stage or off stage, really. No. I mean, he had some controversial things. I mean, you spoke about on the podcast.
No, I think you know what? If that's the category, like if that's the data point we're thinking of, is who belongs on the cereal box. I mean, how much better do you? The guy's like he's a Christian. He's been with his wife for 13 years. He's like got the squeaky clean haircut.
No, I think Derek for sure.
It's Derek.
Derek. It would have been Flex before, in my opinion.
Yes,
and but then he's kind of the heir now to that role, and I think that's partly because he's listened to people like Flex about how to behave.
Yeah,
I know he pays a lot. He pays a lot of respect to Flex for some of the words that have been shared.
But I also think that makes him a great ambassador for being able to recognize where he was going down a bad path, right?
What is that?
Don't worry about this, mate. This is sushi. This is nothing.
Oh,
it's a delivery.
I'm gonna order some food right now. Have it brought.
But you know what I mean?
No.
I think it makes him more relatable, the fact that he corrected himself.
Yeah. His attitude.
Of course, because you can't have the perfect start to be like the. I think it says a lot. I'm just piling this up to rub it in to show you how much I got. Sorry, another one. Oh wait, it's something else. Oh shit.
I'm still not impressed. It's only three containers.
Yeah, I know. It's only one of my meals today. Come on, calm down.
We never had our. People are mad that we never had our chicken nugget.
I said this because I got fucking pissed out of my nut because of you, and then
you weren't even drunk. Smashed. What are you talking about?
I was pretty fucking drunk, bro. I was pretty smashed.
I kept feeding this guy drinks, and he's the most calm drunk I've ever seen in my life.
It's because I was just trying to keep my cool because I was looking at you dead in the eye, like, who's going to win this? It was like we're having a face off who's going to tip over first. So I was just like holding it together, like leaning on my chair, just making sure I could stay upright. Someone's going to buckle soon. It was a laugh. I should have had a drink the next day just to balance it out because I think I woke up feeling pretty fucked. I was like, oh my God, I could have done with having a little drink in the morning to kind of bring me back.
James, are you coming to the Arnold?
March. What am I doing in March? I'm meant to be in I'm in Norway at some point in March, but I don't know exactly when. The Arnold's early March, so I might be able to. Yeah, I should be able to.
Nice.
Why don't you come to the Arnold? That way we can
get drunk again. We can drink more whiskey.
Join in that one.
We can do the. What'd you say, Samson?
I say if you guys having an eating contest, I can join in that one.
Yeah, we'll do
He'll finish the show and then come and fucking stuff it.
Yeah, Samson will lose for sure, though. You can't. Your stomach will be. Your stomach will be on baby big.
Oh yeah, because you eat non-stop.
Yeah.
I got 8 weeks of training. I'm joining in. I'm doing 8 weeks of training.
I'm going to stretch my stomach from now until the Arnold. I'm going to stretch it out.
I'm going to do the challenge is still on.
Intermittent fasting is the key. You don't eat all day and you just stretch that fucking thing.
But do you stretch if you don't eat?
No, the key is great. The key is grapes.
Grapes.
Yeah.
What?
Professional eaters eat grapes, like loads and loads of grapes.
Why?
The day before, because it'll stretch their stomach, but they shit it all out.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a tip.
I'm telling you, watch.
So you're going to do that? Okay, you need to start vlogging the day before when you eat grapes.
He's going to give himself some weird condition from eating so many grapes.
You even need to vlog the part where you pass the grapes. Because otherwise it's not real. If we don't see it, it didn't happen. So I want to hear the grapes come out.
Wait, are you chewing the grapes or swallowing the grapes?
Wait, watch.
You've got to chew them, surely.
Well, maybe I'm wondering if you just swallow them.
There are many competitive eaters that train with grapes, but grapes are one of the more expensive and caloric fruits that are available. It's true. It says it here. I just don't know why.
Why do they feel the need to mention that it's one of the most expensive? Grapes are pretty expensive.
How do competitive eaters expand their stomachs so much?
Grapes. Just one answer. Grapes.
Whole grapes. They eat whole grapes. They're swallowing them whole.
Do you reckon they do like ping pong balls?
Yeah, I mean,
and then just poo out a whole grape.
Competitive eaters learn to stretch and relax their stomachs to fit in more food by eating large amounts of low-calorie foods and liquids.
Does grape skin digest? You know, like sweet corn skin does.
Have you ever?
You know when you poo sweet corn?
Well, raisins don't digest if you swallow them whole; they come out whole, and it's just a raisin.
Listen, have you ever?
A grape's a raisin, isn't it?
I don't know how you guys are with grapes, but if I sit down and eat grapes, I'll eat like a whole fucking.
Yeah, I love them. They're really.
Yeah, but don't you know? Don't you know what happens?
The red ones, so.
both. But don't you know what happens afterwards?
What happens?
Haven't you eat like
sore belly?
No, you shit like you just.
Yeah, but it happens if I eat too much of anything. If I eat too much of anything, I shit myself.
If I pile in the ice cream.
What are you talking about? There's O&E grapes that do that to you. So
grapes,
it's like grapes are significant in some way.
Grapes do it differently, man. It just empties you right out.
I like oranges and apples. They do that as well. If you eat a lot of oranges and apples. I eat a lot of oranges.
If I eat a lot of bananas, I'm going to shit my pants.
Listen, all I know is it said it on Google, so I'm not full of shit. All
that
right.
explains why my bum's feeling watery lately. It's all the fruit. I've got like this fluidy feeling bum. Too much fruit.
I can't believe I'm still sick. Fuck. All right.
You actually still got it?
I got better, and then I got sick again.
Why did every single person that showed up to the Olympia got sick?
You didn't, did you, though, Samson? You're right.
I got lucky. I missed
you got that fucking super white blood cells, bro, fighting the
because even Milos got sick. Everybody got sick. And I was thinking I was going to get it. I go home, I was like, okay, I guess next week is going to be my week then. He never came.
Fuck me up.
You were lucky, bro.
Samson's a freak.
Saturday morning, I woke up feeling like, fuck. Yeah. Same with Dean.
I think Neil get...
Denise raised a good point. Dean was getting sick on that Friday. And she was like, imagine how much that took away from his look.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't talk about...
Yeah, I was sick on Olympia on stage.
Just throw it out there. Just might as well. Anyway.
I had a real bad cough before. Oh, fucking hell.
Breakout star of the year. We'll say Andrew.
Andrew,
I think so. I think Andrew had a top 10 in his first Olympia and a most competitive Olympia ever, and 2 pro wins.
And good pro wins as well. Texas and the Arnold UK.
Yeah.
Best overall season.
To Andrews, isn't it?
So the 2023 season, Andrew won 2 shows and then took 8.
He's a candidate for that for sure. I'll tell you someone who had a really good season. Someone had a really good season. I know he's gonna be a little bit overshadowed by Andrew here, but was Patrick Johnson.
Yeah, but it's the caliber of shows that Andrew did that changed that.
Yeah, but I mean, like for Patrick to go to the Olympia and beat, he got like I think he got like 13th. So he actually beat Justin.
Did he get 13th?
Yeah, he beat Justin Rodriguez. Me, Akim, Charles. He beat Charles by 1 place, I think. Oh, wow. I think he did. He might beat Charles. I think he might beat Charles. I'm not sure. I need confirmation on that. I don't know which way around they go. But like, I just want to say, as a personal, as a peer, that was a good season seeing someone like him do that well because he come out of nowhere.
Was he in the Tsunami Cup?
No, he won the show a week earlier.
He won the France show the week earlier.
I was smart.
It went 1, 2. Okay, got you. Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna sit this one out, boys.
So, best overall season, you have Andrew wins Texas, then he wins the Arnold UK, and then he takes 8th at the Olympia.
Yeah.
Samson takes 4th at the Arnold, the real Arnold. I shouldn't say the real Arnold, but the bigger Arnold. And then
sorry, Andrew.
No, I don't mean to take anything away, but everybody knows the Columbus Arnold is the bigger
daddy.
Arnold. And then takes 6th at the Olympia.
It's very similar.
Who else? How many people else done shows this year that got a few wins?
Blessing won New York, and then
Indy and New York.
Oh, he won Indy.
But he had a good season, but it's the Olympia kind of.
No, you can't. The Olympia matters.
I would still say, sorry, Samson, but I think Andrew.
Oh yeah, Andrew, definitely.
Because
second place, definitely Samson though.
If you would have won the Arnold, then it would have been
easy.
Yeah.
Easy. So this year,
but you didn't, so you're out.
Who won the Arnold? Wait. Who won the Arnold?
How about
Brandon won it. Well, Brandon won the Arnold, and he took 4th at the Olympia.
It's weird though because it doesn't feel. I know it's again strangely. Look how that is in our heads. That hasn't sprung.
No. Well, that's only because
he's already won it.
That's because
he's won an Olympia before. Yes.
Yeah. No, Brandon's not in that conversation, especially if Andrew's winning 2 shows and
turned pro last year.
Nick only did the Olympia. Derek only did the Olympia.
Hadi only did it.
Hadi only did the Olympia. Rami.
Brandon's the only one out of the top 5 that did.
I think out of the top 10, Andrew's the one with the most.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of awards, mate. He's done all right.
Andrew. Most potential.
Samson and Andrew.
Samson and Andrew. Yeah.
Those two for me are like.
We're still forgetting Quint. Don't forget Quint. He won it last year.
But this year,
Quint won it last year. He was the most potential.
Yeah,
but he didn't do much this year in the way of Tampa.
But the thing is, he's working with Jackson now, so he's going to.
But wait a minute, this award is not based on placings. This award is based on physique alone.
Yeah.
So when you look at all,
I still think Samson and Andrew.
Yeah, I think they're still a little
What
bit
about
more.
Raphael?
Raf's good.
I think Quint's potential not far exceeds, but exceeds Raphael.
Yeah.
I think if
plus Raphael is.
Well, wait a minute. Actually, if we're talking about most potential, what about Derek? I mean, Derek brings up.
He's already up there.
No, I know, but
he's already one space away. He's kind of fulfilling. Derek's kind of fulfilling the potential.
He's almost past that.
But I guess when I say like most potential, I think who could have a dynasty?
Yeah.
Right. Like with Derek
for sure.
Derek with big.
Well, I feel like a Samson or Andrew is going to be like Coleman, and I never thought there'd be another Coleman. I feel like one of these boys could somehow, mate. The amount you've blown up in the last year, like there's no reason why you couldn't.
I'm scared to say Samson because everyone's just going to say, "Oh, you give Samson everything."
No, no, honestly,
I have to be mean. I have to be mean to you, Samson, just so people don't fucking.
I'm being biased.
But I've been vocal about Samson to him and to you, and said that if and when the time comes, no one's beating him.
Look, regardless of what people
think. You guys told me back in Texas that I remember.
Yeah.
Regardless of what people think, if I'm being biased or not, I think Andrew, Samson, and Quint have the most potential to be in the top 6.
Basically, if you're white, you're
so racist.
I get it. I get it. Why
are you so racist?
I took out all the white guys.
Cheers. We'll just do the Arnold. We'll just do Arnold's. Win Arnold shows. Hope that they don't turn up. Hope these threes don't turn up.
I'm sorry. I just don't see another physique.
No, I
that could be that spectacular. I think, especially now with Quint working with Matt.
That's going to be dangerous.
Who knows what happens there? A
lot.
All right, so we have to give it to somebody though.
Samson.
Let's go Samson today because Andrew just won that last one.
I would say because of the improvement that Samson.
Well, you're right. Sorry,
I'm just saying because of the improvement Samson has made, he's showing more potential because Andrew has been the same for 3 shows. Not that he doesn't have potential to be greater, but I think the
just based off what you've seen now.
If we're looking at trajectory, Samson's trajectory is like.
Well, that might be the case. Andrew might never change, right? That might be how he looks now. Imagine if that's his upper limit. That might well be. You don't know.
So who do we have here?
It might be Samson's limit.
The second thing was so Samson won most improved and most potential.
Yeah,
we're not gonna say these are winners yet. I'm gonna run it by the other crew as well.
Yeah.
And we'll get some fan feedback in the comments.
Fuck the other crew. They don't know as much as
us. Most potential biggest upset. I would say, would we say Derek or Hottie? Because I'm thinking like the biggest upset or biggest shocker would be that Rami being in 6th or 5th. So would we make just that would be the biggest upset, or we have to make it a winning thing, don't we?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What connotation are you asking it in? Is it negative or positive?
Well,
is it the biggest upset or the biggest shock?
Shock, yeah.
It says biggest upset. So to me, that's a positive thing. So it would be like who?
No, upset to me is like the biggest robbery.
Yeah. Who should have placed higher? Maybe.
Oh, who should have placed higher? Is that what you guys are thinking?
Who got shafted? If anyone got shafted
when I think biggest upset, I think somebody who placed somewhere nobody expected. And they were like,
I'm thinking it's more from Ben's perspective. Like, should someone have perhaps placed higher that got shafted?
Oh, okay. We can do that.
I got fart.
Is there somebody that glaringly got overlooked? James?
I honestly had the top 10 pretty close to where they should have fell.
Yeah, I thought so.
On reflection.
I think it was pretty spot on.
Any other shows throughout the year though?
Unfortunately, Rami, unfortunately, I think could have. It was quite fortunate he didn't place lower.
I think I got a good one. What about Kamal? A lot of people thought Kamal should have won Tampa.
In Tampa? Yeah, I do.
Against Akim?
Fucking.
No, I'm glad Akim won because I beat Akim at the Olympia, so it means at least I beat someone.
No, I mean Akim is great, and Akim won the show.
He's amazing.
I think that was maybe one of the most controversial decisions of the year.
Well, I remember sending a text. I can't remember who I text now, prejudging, and I said Kamal's giving a lesson to everyone here.
I'm thinking
you were there, weren't you?
If you look over the course of the year, I think the biggest controversy of placings came when Kamal lost to Akim. There was obviously other people that complained about other shows, but I'm saying the one that the biggest consensus was Kamal.
Yeah,
that's it's fair.
Samson?
Yeah.
I can't remember any much of it.
You can't remember?
We were there, so we're kind of lucky that we.
Let's put Kamal there and see what happens with everybody else.
James Hollingshead looked pretty good at the Arnold UK. I heard.
Strongest bodybuilder.
No one got that. Ah,
strongest bodybuilder.
I talked to Ian about this on the last podcast that came up, so we're gonna go with James because Ian admitted.
Oh, yeah.
They were saying what he said was in pressing he thinks he can probably do a little more, but in deadlifting and squatting you got him.
Okay.
So
now I feel pressure to get very strong again.
I think James has got him on pressing like chest wise. I think Ian might have him on overhead pressing.
Ian said he's pressed 6 plates.
Yeah.
James, have you done 6 plates?
Twice, yeah. When I've got it that far off locking it out twice, and it's pissed me off. Yeah. So wait this year, and I'll fucking do it for 2 reps.
Samson, does that count?
No, it doesn't count.
That's a lot.
No, it doesn't count.
No, of course it does.
If Ian locked it out and James didn't, then it
oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well,
I had no.
If you're in a powerlifting competition and you don't lock it out, it's like
they don't count it.
So, keep an eye on me over the next month. I'll be very strong in about 2
Don't
weeks,
hurt yourself because of this, please.
I'm going to hurt myself now. I'm going to do it because you've led me to this.
I don't think you can do it.
That's why I'm eating the sushi now, Ben. I'm doing it during the podcast. I'm like, fuck you, I'm eating.
We need some new categories because I don't want to do body parts. It's kind of boring. Should we do body parts? No, right? No. Body
That's
parts.
gay, not in a gay way. Like, I'm not saying anything against homosexuals, but it's gay as in
like body parts.
It's just like stupid. You know how we say
it. I'm not saying gay in a derogatory way. I'm just saying that gay is stupid.
It's stupid, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The context isn't meaning homophobic comment.
All right, let's do some questions before we go. All right. Is it gay for pay if you're a porn actor and thinking about something else? I know that's from Patrick. I know why I know why he's asking this. There was a guy that came into the booth at the HOSSTILE booth at the Olympia, and he wanted to talk to us about is it gay if you're gay? And he said that he was a gay porn actor. And he said that sometimes he has to inject his penis so that it's hard, so that he can have sex with dudes. And then he'll be like watching porn while having sex with a dude.
But he likes women himself.
Huh?
But he likes women himself.
Yeah,
he's into women.
But he says he's not gay.
How'd you end up in that position?
Yeah, that's a weird position to end up in.
Right? He said for the money. So,
but fuck a woman for the money.
So he's saying, is it gay? But there's more money in gay porn.
Is there actually more money in gay porn?
Is there?
Yeah.
How'd you know this, Fouad?
That's a shock.
Supply and demand. It's supply and demand. Wait.
He's like sure. He's like, yes.
It's supply and demand. There's a bunch of guys queuing up to bang porn star women. There's not a bunch of dudes waiting.
Maybe that's why it's more money though, because there's bunch of no money dudes want to do it.
Yeah, no one's doing it.
Okay, let's see.
Are you looking him up? Please don't look him up.
Oh, don't be telling me you're looking it up.
Okay, how much do you get paid?
He's looking it up. Wow.
By the way, Fouad, I opened my phone the other day on the browser. Do you remember the conversation we had about a week ago and you made me Google something?
What was that?
I can't say what it was. You said you said it was about somebody and you said Google
yeah.
It fucking popped up and like a week later I just closed the thing.
A very prominent person in our industry. Okay.
Yeah, and Phoenix is like 2 yards away from me.
Oh no.
All right, so this is why. Why is gay porn more profitable than straight porn? Supply versus demand. There we go. That's the answer. Okay.
She's supply and demand.
Wait, that was that could have been utter bollocks. No, you just took that first.
Good enough. Anyway, so is it gay for pay if you're a porn actor and thinking about something else? Yes, of course it is.
Yeah, it's literally gay for pay, but it's okay.
All right, and listen. You're still a firefighter if you put out a fire, but don't think about the fire. Do you know what I mean? If you're putting a hose on a fire and you're like, no, I'm not here, I'm not doing this right now. hosing.
Okay, wait a minute. It
You're
is
still
gay
a firefighter.
it is gay for pay, but is it gay?
Well, I just answered it in how I think. I think it's still.
All right.
Yeah, it's still.
Your hose is still, you're still using your hose.
That guy was that guy. You should have seen this guy in the booth though. It was fucking hilarious. He was like,
Was he adamant?
we almost knew before he said he was.
But he was an ask, yeah.
Oh no.
Do you guys wish you had been part of a different era?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to fucking be bodybuilding in the 70s.
70s.
Yeah.
Why 70s?
No, everything was black and white. Fuck that.
No, I'm like, I don't know.
You'd be the biggest dude. You'd be the biggest dude at a time.
No, I'll be their size, like to scale, right?
Oh.
They seemed like they were having more fun.
90s.
It seemed like
90.
If I lived in a different era, it wouldn't be to be a bodybuilder. It'd be to experience what's going on in that era. You sad fuck. Come on, Fouad. You can't just change. You're already a successful bodybuilder. Why don't you go some other time to be a successful bodybuilder?
That was the question. You have to be a bodybuilder. Do you want to be a bodybuilder?
No, is that what they said?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So I'm picking the 70s because I'm like, number one, I think it'd be cool to live in a time again with no computers and no phones.
Dude, I'm so over my phone. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, sometimes I think about like growing up in the 80s and I'm like, or the 90s even when I had a pager, and I'm like, I kind of miss not having a fucking phone and not
what about Deliveroo, bro?
What? Listen, there's a lot of positives. Trust me. I like Uber Eats and all that good shit. And we couldn't be doing this. I'm not saying it's bad. Sometimes I miss having a phone on the wall, and you have to fucking, if you're not there to get it, you just don't get it.
I'll say this. I put my phone in here now, and I have a personal phone. I put my work phone in here, and I don't look at it, and I feel so much happier.
Yeah, but you still have your personal phone with you.
Yeah,
it has like four. It has 4 numbers on it.
Yeah,
and no
that's what mine's. I'm like that.
Yeah, but do you remember? Okay, so
it's an emergency number only.
Do you remember taking a dump before there was phones?
Yes,
magazines. You actually appreciate
it. You only in the toilet, take a dump.
Read the back of the bleach bottle. I'd read the back.
Yeah. I was just gonna say the shampoo bottle.
You have a magazine. You do have like newspaper and magazines in the toilet.
Yeah. You'd have a little like the basket thing, and it had magazines in it. And if you didn't have any magazines in there, you'd read like the back of a shampoo bottle or something.
Yeah.
Now I sit on a fucking toilet with my phone. I'm like fucking there for 45 minutes. And I'm like,
I take a piss, dude. I'll take a piss. And I'm there for 45 minutes because I'm
sit down to your piss.
Yeah, all the time. Always, I'll sit.
I used to keep up with appointments back in those days, though. You know when you say, "Oh, I'll meet you here at this time on this day," a week later.
The appointments weren't the problem. It was directions. Remember, people they'd be like, "You have to turn at the red house and go down the street till you hit the green sign." There's no like streets or shit.
I didn't watch the whole thing with the podcast you did with LABRADA, but he was telling me a story, he might have said it, where he was in Europe doing the European tour, and he would arrange with Robin, his wife, to at a certain time, he would get a payphone and he'd have a stack of quarters. And he would call home, and she'd be sitting by the phone waiting for him to
my God.
Yeah.
Like every day at like 4 p.m. they arranged.
Yeah.
It's just cool.
I don't know. I like being connected, but sometimes I feel like I can't stay off my phone.
Yeah, the connection is the problem. It's good, but it's bad at the same time.
Like when I'm bored, remember you used to be bored? You just used to be bored. Now I'm bored. I go on my phone. I'm fucking around. I'm like I kind of miss just
being bored.
I honestly had to have a conversation with myself, and I put it away. And now Phoenix and I are like this.
Yeah.
Because
honestly,
I would just sit, it would just consume me.
Yeah. Sometimes when my phone's dead, I'm like, my phone died. Good. I got 10 minutes till it recharges.
Yeah, man. When I didn't have a phone is when I was most physically active. So back in the childhood days, that's when I used to put the skates on, play football, climb trees, shag birds, 14-year-old birds when I was 14, dirty little bastard. But,
I'm glad you.
I know you were 14 as well. But
how ugly were they?
Not bad, mate. At the time, 14,
they were bad. Don't lie.
No, because when you're 14, none of you have like developed anything yet, so you'll just look really plain. You're like not yourself yet, are you?
No, not you. Not you. How ugly were they?
Them. They're 14 as we were young, so they. Just
I thought you said you were fucking 40-year-olds.
No, I was. Mate, I was 14. Dude. I was young, bro. I was into the scene a bit too young.
You're fucking that young, eh?
Was man.
Maybe that's why you're bored of sex now. You're like, I had enough.
Yeah, that's it. I've already done it all.
I think that's what it was.
How many?
Probably why it was a good 18 junior bodybuilder, because it was most of us were getting into it 17, 18.
It's true. I was a good bodybuilder young because I had all the sex and got it out of the
way. How many threesomes have you had, James?
Not many. I don't think I've had any actually threesomes. No, I might have
none. One with 2 guys or 2 girls?
I've never done one with another guy.
Why are you guys laughing? It's a fucking valid question. And had a threesome. Threesome could be 2 guys and a girl. It could be
because I weren't up for it when I was younger. It's just people are fucking pussies, but I pull out last minute. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
You arrange. You're like, you might arrange something. Yeah, let's have it.
I thought you meant literally pull out.
That's what I thought he meant. I'm like,
that still counts.
I mean, everyone talks a good game until it's night of the.
So you tried to set up a threesome with another guy, and they back out.
I don't remember specifics, but I know that there's been times where it's been on the cards and people have just been too
threesomes always happen in the moment though, surely.
Yeah, I don't usually plan that. You don't usually plan that.
No, I've had a couple of other people there's this fucking right tart, she loves it.
Yeah, I guess that can happen too. Yeah. You find one that
be well game for it, boys. Yeah. But I'm not that kind of way now. Listen, that's a long time ago. I'm 33. This is when I was in my teenage years, okay?
If Yannicka watches this, would she be mad at you for telling the story?
It's too late now.
Like we say, it's always better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If Justin S was in the 2022 Olympia, where would he have placed? Shire wouldn't have placed. He's not there yet. He will one day. Who is everyone's hall pass? So I did this on the last podcast, so I won't answer, but you guys can answer.
I don't know what fucking hall pass is.
Hall pass.
I don't have one, mate. I'm not allowed one. I know that much. Fucking kidding me.
Ben's out too. James, a hall pass is when your girlfriend or wife gives you a chance to cheat with one person of your choice.
Probably like Scarlett.
Samson's not even part of this conversation either. It's stupid.
I'm in because I'll definitely let Yannicka bang her one of choice if I can bang mine.
Okay, what's your one of choice? What's your one of choice? Oh yeah, what's her one of choice? Do you know?
I think she's got a soft spot for Frank.
Wait a minute.
I think she thinks he's hot.
No, you can't do it with someone you fucking know. That's even worse.
No, there's no way.
Worse.
Listen, is what it is.
So out of everybody, in
my best
world,
mate. My best mate.
Yannicka, if you were allowed to have sex with one person on this planet, not me, good looking one, who would it be?
Good looking one.
Doesn't have to be good looking. Maybe she wants a fucking ugly guy.
No, don't catch it. Who would it be? Who would it be if you had a free pass?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Bumstead. He can't hear. He can't hear us.
Yannicka, just come up here when you're ready and then we'll discuss this in person.
All right, James, what's yours? Come back. James, what's yours?
My pass would change all the time. I get horny for different birds.
What's yours right now?
This minute.
Your current hall pass. If you could.
Right now, I'm not even fucking horny in the slightest, so I don't know. Let me think.
James, his hall pass doesn't really count.
How are you not horny? Post show, I'm always the most horny. I've been dieting.
Why?
Because I've been dieting for 16 weeks, and all of a sudden I start eating, and I'm like, I just want to fuck all the time.
What, you want to eat and fuck?
I want to eat and fuck.
What do you do like sex drive in your diet? Well, how many people have to lose sex drive when they died?
I don't like sex.
I did this year.
When I'm dieting, I don't have sex at all. Not like really? the last 4 to 6 weeks, I'm like, just leave me the fuck alone. I'm too tired.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then after, when I stop taking all the AIs and I start eating fucking pizza, I'm like, my fucking shit goes. My libido goes. Yeah. It's like even like right away, Samson. Like,
oh really?
post work, post show, I have a meal and I'm like that night. I'm like, okay, we're going.
Oh man, I'm just
wash the tan off. I'll be right there.
Yeah.
No, I don't even wash the tan off, bro.
Leave the tan on. Fuck, I don't care.
Yeah, man. Give him the tan.
The first thing I do is get the tan off before I even eat. Is get the tan off.
I've done both. There's been shows I finished where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. We're not going anywhere really nice. I'm just gonna go like this. I don't care.
Oh, I can't do that.
You get like the oil still, and it's like, oh.
Well, because I like to go back. I like to take a long shower. So sometimes I'm so hungry. I'm like, let's go eat. And then I'll go back.
I've done cookies in the shower, washing my tan off before. I've had a bag of it and I'm like, this hurts.
You know what I learned over 20 years? I try not to eat until I get to the thing I really want to. After
Yeah, because you destroy it otherwise. Like, if you munch all those cookies backstage and stuff, you end up like being like.
Because let's say it's something I really, really want, like pizza or like steak, or like a really good steak or something.
Yeah.
And then backstage, I eat all this chocolate and fucking it ruins the fucking post show meal.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like full of all this junk, and I don't like really get to satisfy like my.
I mean, you could have a little bit of chocolate, and then
I can't. You know,
can't control himself.
You know, I can't.
I'm the same. I fucking love chocolate, man.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
I've started doing chocolate and nuts together, like salted nuts and chocolate, and I put them in my hand out.
Fuck. I want chocolate now. I'm going to go to Deliveroo again and get more. Get some chocolate.
Who's your hall pass? Who's your hall pass?
Hall pass. Probably Scarlett Johansson in a minute. That'll do. Ragga.
Oh, Johansson, yeah.
She'd get a little smash.
I don't get movie stars. I don't.
No, but I found her quite attractive anyway. But there is others as well. There is others.
What do you mean don't find movie stars? Who's your hall pass then?
I don't find any movie stars attractive at all.
Who's your hall pass? Do you have one?
Common sense.
Of course.
Come on, bro. Who's the hall pass?
He's like my next door.
I can't say because they actually
are real.
He's like my next door
They're
neighbor.
real people.
You think celebrities aren't good looking?
I don't actually like who. Which one?
Anyone?
Hansen.
No, I don't think. No, they might be good looking. They might be pretty, but they're not attractive. I don't find them right.
Oh, well, okay.
Here, let's do this. Images. Here, let's check it out.
So you're gonna just say bang or pass to Samson until we get one that he says you bang. That's men. Okay, all right.
So we can get them.
Why are these all men? Well, here, let's look.
Because there are a lot of them sexiest female celebrities.
Okay.
Miley Kunis.
Pass or no?
They're pretty, but they're not attractive.
Yes or no?
See, look, Samson needs more than that.
Actually, what's Wolf of Wall Street?
Margot Robbie.
That's
Find her.
I think that's
Find her. Is she the one that plays the fucking bird from I know this is the yes her.
She plays Harley Quinn. She plays Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, all right. You like it because she looks a bit.
That's the only one.
Yeah, you like the filthy look, bruv.
Yeah, that's. You like though.
100% on board with that.
You like that she's wearing a little choker there. Go on, Mass.
Yeah, you know.
This is my favorite picture of her.
Even you, brother. Come see.
Samson's explaining himself.
You know, yeah.
Samson's explaining.
Even Mel would hit her.
The wife's in there.
Yeah.
Good, as long as you don't mind having a.
No, I said even Mel find her attractive.
Good.
Yeah, you find her attractive because remember watching Wolf of Wall Street. I know she had a really dirty personality. I like that.
Is there is there a bad picture of this fucking girl anywhere?
Nope.
Nah, because she's just good looking.
Yeah, she's good from every angle.
All right. Samson, you and Justin have the same hall pass.
Shire, did he pick her as well?
Shire picked Margot Robbie as well, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But he likes blondes because he's can see that with Jazz she's blonde, isn't it? So he's obviously got a taste for that.
Yep. He's got a taste.
He's got a taste. I haven't really got a taste.
You don't have a taste?
Like anything. No, not knowing more. I used to. It's only like they mixed race birds, didn't I?
I haven't.
They had to be caramel or nothing.
I think I have a taste.
I don't really have a taste anymore.
I mean, I don't really have a taste, but I think I'm partial to blondes.
So that's why you like that one as well.
See, I'm anti blondes. I don't think I've got many blondes on my record.
Really?
I haven't.
I mean, there's some, but predominantly.
Well, there has to be. I wasn't going to forget. I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't think I really have any blondes.
Let's move on. With Hottie winning his first show, would you rather have Flex or Hottie's career? First of all, do you mean Flex Lewis or Flex Wheeler?
I think he means Lewis.
I think it meant Wheeler, but either way,
surely.
I don't know. It's a silly question. I mean, Flex.
He's just trying to say he's 7. It's the whole argument again, isn't it? 1 Mr. Olympia, 7.
I think Flex Lewis. I think Flex Lewis' career, especially the way he managed it, marketing wise. I don't mean just competitively. I mean all around.
Yeah.
Him and Jay are in the same stratosphere.
Dude, I'm not being funny. To get like a contract with Monster says a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. To me, him and Jay have
online.
Yeah, him and Jay have managed everything.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing your boy's top today, Ben. Just so you know.
Oh yeah,
supporting the brothers. Yeah.
Good man.
Is Guy's podcast going to affect the dynamic of Bro Chat at all? No.
He's on like the next day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Literally like, hello, son.
What is everyone on the pod working to improve the most in 2023? Samson?
Everything.
Other than bodybuilding.
Oh, other than bodybuilding.
Is there something outside of bodybuilding you want to improve?
Oh yeah, I mean bodybuilding career. I want a faster car.
You want a
I knew the car was. I knew the car.
Oh, you already have a fucking rocket ship. What are you talking about?
He wants to step up
Come
again.
on, I want one that I can barely fit in.
Wait a minute.
You barely fit in that, surely. You're
Yeah, I know that. I know that
I'm
car.
talking about like the one you look at and you go, okay, I'm scared to get in there today. But
Oh, you mean like the Ferrari? You mean like the
GT3
Ferrari?
like
RS.
the ridiculous, stupid ones. Yeah.
So you're not necessarily talking about a faster car. You're talking about a more exotic car.
More exotic, a more scarier car.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
To be honest with you, Samson, I would be more scared driving your car than driving that Ferrari. Only because the way that Ferrari handled,
it was so nice and easy.
Yeah, I felt more confident doing stupid shit.
The Ferrari's been made to handle that power, and Samson's shot his up through the roof, right?
Yeah.
I tried to drive the other day when it was raining, and it's supposed to be 4-wheel drive, right?
Wheels go off the ground.
Yeah, I took a bend on it, and I was like, holy crap.
BMWs in the rain are fucking deadly, man.
Yeah, but this one's supposed to be all-wheel drive, or 4-wheel drive. So I thought it'd be.
But I believe the X-Drive cars, and I could be wrong. Someone will correct me, I'm sure, but I believe the X-Drive cars are more partial to the rear drive. Yeah.
And I learned that the other day. In the nicest way.
Pros and cons from the Mr. Olympia this year. Any changes you'd like to wait before we go on, James?
Yeah, I had an opinion, didn't I? Put it out there.
I apologize. 2023 changes other than bodybuilding.
Oh no, I was going to talk about the next bit, but yeah, okay, cool. I want to work on my streaming, my gaming while I'm growing, because I can grow and do that at the same time.
Yeah,
obviously with the clothing, I want to work on continuing to build more product and stuff. We're working on a lot of stuff for that. Man, there's a shit lot of things going on. So yeah, I'm just going to continue with the business while I can eat and grow and train. So the training is like can happen now. I've got loads of business stuff.
What about on the personal side? Are you gonna get married this year?
Oh, I don't know about that.
You're gonna get engaged finally?
If she asks me, maybe.
You know what?
I'm dead serious.
I know you are. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like,
she wears the trousers, bro. She might as well ask.
Are you seriously waiting for her to ask?
Nah, I should probably ask actually. You've reminded me actually.
I should probably ask.
This is a reminder. I just forgot about it.
We should do it now. James, go ask her.
Yeah, we already had one proposal on the podcast. Did you hear about that?
We pressured
live. Yeah, we were in the booth at the Olympia.
So it was the booth.
With that ring on Ben's hand.
Yeah.
Me, Ben, and was it Guy or Justin? It was Justin.
Justin.
Yeah, me, Ben, and Justin were in the booth, and these couple sat down, and I started talking to him. I said, "So how long you been together?" Blah blah blah. And the guy's like, 5 years. So I'm like, "What are you waiting for?" I'm like, "Are you married?" He's like, "No, she's just my girlfriend." I'm like, "What are you waiting for?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for the right time." I'm like, "It's fucking the right times right now." So then Justin and Ben started pressuring him, and then he's like, "Well, I don't have a ring." So Ben gives him the fucking ring on his finger.
I have.
Oh no,
dude, the guy fucking does it. Gets down on a fucking knee.
Listen, bawled her eyes out.
He got down on a knee and started to ask, and the girl just waterworks, man. Started crying her fucking. And he asks her, and she's teary-eyed. And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but at our booth, I mean, Samson, you probably know, but James, at our booth, we had speakers pumping the podcast out, and we had a TV so you could see in if you're standing in line outside. So everybody starts fucking cheering outside the booth. Sick. And like it was so great. The girl's bawling and shit.
That's great, man. That's awesome.
They better follow through.
Check up on that because maybe later he'll be like, you do know I only did that for the podcast.
He better follow through.
No, he posted afterwards. I think.
Oh, really? Oh,
I saw.
He went and got a ring. He went and bought her a ring, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
That's cool. Okay, that's cool.
You know what? For me, I need to let myself feel love a bit more, man. I need to like just let that kind of feeling of love come out so that I feel confident in doing that. I'm just not a very emotional person on that front, and I feel like it holds me back.
Because you know what's weird, James? You are an emotional person.
I am, but not in romance and love that way.
I think James needs to have more sex. Maybe if he does that, he'll feel.
He doesn't even like
bro. I do. Listen, I do, and I'd like a little chop here and there. But I don't know. I think bodybuilding has fried my circuitry so much that I'm a certain way that I'm a little bit demented, and that has meant that I just don't look at things how I should. Like I know how good everything is in front of me. I know I've got a really good partner, but I just for some reason. really bad at like, number one, accepting it. Number two, like allowing it to take hold of me and make me feel emotion. Like I think maybe previous relationships, maybe because I know it's not a therapy lesson, but I suppose when you've had a relationship before that didn't go the way you wanted it to, and you kind of kicked you in the bollocks, I suppose sometimes it blocks you from like being truly open,
letting it all go.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't mean to be that way. It's not like I'm trying to be, but I'm a bit like.
I have a prediction.
God,
when you're done bodybuilding, that will all come back.
Probably, yeah, because the bodybuilding keeps me very tense.
I'm telling you, man, James. I don't know if we're the same that way, but I promise you, if you ask Summer, I'm like 180-degree change from where I was when I was on.
I'm uptight. I'm uptight because of the bodybuilding as well. I'm very like I'm not done yet, so I can't commit to you because I've got this shit to do. Do you know what I mean? It's like, which isn't. I know as a person isn't the truth. You can commit to multiple things, but just the way that I'm wired and the way that things are, I just find it difficult to be like, okay, let me tell you, I'm going to give you me for the rest of my life when I'm still heavily involved in something that's so consuming. It's just weird.
It takes over. People don't realize it, but it does take over your life.
Like me and probably like you did, you let it. I don't think it has to be that way, but just we're all different, aren't we? I suck. I suck. That's what it is.
No, we're not shitting on you. I'm just asking.
No, I do suck. I suck as a boyfriend. Yannick knows it, but she sticks by me. So
that's not true. I saw you guys together. That's you're full of shit.
Oh, you thought I was quite a good boyfriend?
You play it down. You play it down a bit.
But what I think James is saying is that where he's at now might be okay, but if he was, there's another level that he.
Well, that's what I said. When he's retired, he'll realize that change.
I'm not like I'm not the type of person that when I see my girlfriend, give him a hug and a big kiss and say hello, and I know that that's in there somewhere, but it's just not there right now.
I think it's not under your control. I think people think that this is all under your control.
Yeah, you switch it on or off. Yeah,
I think when you're on a fucking bunch of hormones, you're just a different person.
Just a bit colder.
You're just you're a different fucking, and I didn't experience it till I stopped, but man, I'm a different fucking person.
Yeah.
You only have so much bandwidth that you can give.
I'm extremely thoughtful, boys. Like, listen, I'm extremely thoughtful, Ben. Like, if I go out and I see something that I think Yannick would like, I have no hesitation in like picking it up and bringing it home and saying, here's a gift. Like, I really appreciate you. I'm just bad with the physical aspect. Like, I don't want to be, I'm a little bit like, maybe I don't like myself that much. I don't want to be touched. Do you know what I mean?
Dude, I do. When Denise starts, like, if we're sitting there and shit, I'm like, hey, fuck off.
Yeah, and it ain't because I don't like that. It's because I'm like, it's almost like I haven't done enough in my career yet to feel worthy of the piece that comes after. And the part of that piece is the love.
Yeah, but see, I feel I feel the opposite about that, because I'm like, if anybody can make me feel normal or at peace with myself, it's her, because she loves me.
Yeah.
So when I'm home and I don't feel good about myself because of a show or because of whatever, that's the person I turn to.
So you was like that even during your bodybuilding?
Yeah, that's the person I turn to make me feel whole again.
Man, I like rely on. Yeah.
The thing is, that's the one person in your life that you know is not judging you. Yeah. So to me, no matter how depressed I feel or how sad I feel or how shitty I feel about a show or whatever, I know that person is there for me regardless. So that always makes
what it is my problem is this. My problem is that I look at the person that you're looking at, that is Summer. I look at it as it's myself. So I self-retreat.
But wait a minute. What I'm asking you is, why wouldn't you use...
I don't know. I it's like I only trust myself fully.
Oh, you don't I see what you mean.
I do, but it's weird. It's like I go into a corner and I'll talk myself out of a situation before I put it on someone else.
I have the other thing where when I was competing, and even now, like the past thing that I did with the camp, where I know I'm neglecting her, and I'm like, I feel ashamed. So when she's stroking me, I'm like, I'm not being the guy.
You're not deserving of it. Yeah.
And it walls me off, because I'm like, I'm being a piece of shit right now. Yeah. You shouldn't love me like you do.
Yeah. That's understandable, because I kind of get that. That's kind of how I feel sometimes, because I feel like where we commit so hard to this, we're not truly giving enough to that. And therefore, like, when they show you attention, you're like, yeah, but you know what? Every day, like, I'm waking up in the morning, the first thing I'm thinking about is getting to the fucking gym and doing that shit. It's not actually fair on you.
But we're talking about two different things. So
sort of.
We are, because one is you're saying I don't want to take because I feel like I'm not giving enough.
Pretty much.
Right. So I don't want to take all your adoration.
I'm not prepared to give enough.
Yeah. I'm not giving you enough because I'm being selfish. So I don't want to take too much from you. That I'm with you guys 100% on that, right? It's 100%. What I'm talking about is when I feel a gap in my life or my personality, I use my wife because I trust her and she's not judging me to fill that gap. Those are two different things. One is being selfish and taking adoration that you don't deserve. One is being able to trust somebody enough to say, I'm fucked up, I need your help.
I do trust Yannicka enough for that. I've sat with Yannicka many times and said, look, I need to speak to some fucker. I'm trying to talk to you now, like, I need to speak to someone because mate ain't right.
Like when I'm insecure or I'm sick or the self-doubt, Denise is the one, or if I'm really high and I'm like, oh fuck, she's the one that really bring me down.
Okay, so we're all in agreement there then. That's okay.
I'm close to, I suppose, so therefore I trust Yannicka more than anyone pretty much on this planet. That's one thing I'm for sure, you know.
All right, did you do one?
No. What on the
improve for 2023?
Honestly, I've started implementing it already. It was just separating the family and business out a little more, having more structure, and then actually being able to give Phoenix my full attention rather than just being in the room. And that by proxy means giving Denise my full attention as well when the time is right, because I neglected them enormously, even though I was even when I was here, I would just
being here.
This thing's glued to my hand, and I'm like, fuck it, no, not anymore. Like I have times where I'm working.
Yeah, it's gonna be hours where you're not working.
Like I wake up now at 4 to go in the gym. I train fasted in the morning.
You're a beast.
Before Phoenix wakes up, so that when I walk back in the gym, when I walk back in from the gym,
you're done.
He's ready to wake up. I can go there. Yeah. So I've changed my sleep schedule to fit in with him, and then I can start work once he goes to school. And then I don't have to train. I can just work. That's the biggest thing for me.
That's growing up, isn't it? It's part of it, I suppose. And I'm not there yet. That's why I'm scared to have children. I need to. Probably should.
Don't wait. Do it. Do it now.
Like I said, don't wait.
Do it. Do it now.
Do it now. Not long. I think if I do have children, it'll be in the next year.
All right. Well, you got to get married too, or you don't care about that.
Let's get married.
I'll have bastard children.
It still comes out. It still comes out the right normal way.
It stays there. It just stays right at the.
It's just nope. This like pushes it. Nope.
I think because Yannicka wants to get. She's going to be back in Norway working. She's got a job. She starts in I think it's April, and it's for a year. And then if she can solidify a job there from that point forward, from doing that work, then that'll be the time where we're like, okay, you're stable. I've got some traveling and stuff to do, but I can come to and from. But it's a good time for her to be settled and have family around her.
Maternity leave as well.
Yeah, and you do get good maternity leave in Norway.
So she's going to work for a year. What are you doing? Are you staying there?
Yeah, I'll look after the house, and then I'll probably maybe in a year, maybe look to sell it and get somewhere smaller here and get somewhere in Norway. So I've got two hubs. Oh. I wouldn't want to not have somewhere here. I like having somewhere here.
Are you going to be alone the whole time? Just visit back and forth?
For a while it will be, but I've got a lot that I can do and be busy with. And I can go to Norway quite easily, quite quickly. It's a 90-minute flight.
Oh, okay.
So it's literally, it's not like having to travel halfway across the world. So, and I'll just occupy myself with, to be fair, I'll just be doing content and filming and traveling for the next year anyway. So I'm going to keep myself busy to build some business. This is why, you just got to do what you got to do. And I love her enough, and she loves me enough to, distance isn't a problem.
Well, really it's an hour and a half flight's not a big deal.
Bro, it's longer to drive to go and see fucking Samson than it is to go and see my missus in, do you know what I mean, in Norway, really. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a bit of a weird time, but I've obviously got the cat here. I can look after the cat, and I'm looking forward to focusing on some of these, business things and seeing them kind of grow. And then after that's done, not done, but established, I can kind of to and from a little bit more. So I think it's going to be an interesting time.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, let's do one more and then we'll go. Fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill. Bodybuilding, cars, or cheat meals.
I would never kill cheat meals.
James, we're gonna change cars for gaming for you, because me and Samson love cars, but you love gaming.
It's bad, man, because now you're asking me to choose between bodybuilding and gaming.
That's
and when
the
I think
whole
about
point.
the length,
Yeah, that's the proper point.
for me being alive for like however many more years, what could I go without?
I don't know what Ben's car thing would be. What's a good equivalent to car?
Bike.
My passion for cars is your passion for what?
I actually don't know either for Ben.
Yeah, I don't know what Ben likes. He likes everything.
Like food a lot.
No, it's already on there. So the question is fuck, marry, kill, bodybuilding, cars, or cheat meals.
And they changed my
So we
cars.
changed
Cars.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to
the-
change for you as well.
We changed James's cars to gaming. So we'll change your cars to whatever the fuck you like the most. But
You know what's weird? I used to be hardcore into cars, and then I used to be hardcore into gaming, and
yeah, but then you had a son and grew up, and you don't give a shit anymore.
So what do you like now? What's the equivalent of like that? I think because none of us are parents, I reckon like he's a parent, and that's probably his fulfillment.
Yeah, but
you can't put it on this. No, you can't.
Steady.
Exactly, you can't. So because it actually has weight to it, whereas ours is just hobby.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
it's
then Samson, you go first while we're thinking of Ben's. Fuck, marry, kill, bodybuilding, cars, or cheat meals.
Ooh. Probably marry bodybuilding, yeah.
Okay.
Kill I can kill cars, I guess. I can't go without cheat meal.
No, see, that's right.
I can't go with cheat meal.
Fuck the cheat meals.
So fuck cheat meal. Yeah.
I think I'm in the same boat. I think I'm in the same boat as Samson because I can ride my motorcycle. So fuck cars.
See now.
All right. What about change it to all vehicles then?
Oh yeah. That's better.
I'm still in the same boat. I have to have my McDonald's. Well, actually, you know what? Wait a minute. I think I would.
Why?
Wait, I would live a longer life if I killed cheat meals. My doctor.
Would your life be better?
Yeah, because I'd be healthier and I'd be riding around my motorcycle and driving a really fast car.
No cheat meals in that mouth.
Yeah, you'd have to pull over and eat a salad.
Yeah, literally. Oh, I'm hungry. Salad, cashew nuts. Yeah.
I can have chicken and steak.
Nah, you gotta eat salad.
No, I'm gonna kill cheat meals. I'm serious. Because that's my number one crutch, my number one vice. So I can get rid of it. Fuck it. I'm gonna marry
Okay.
I could probably it wouldn't be bodybuilding for me because I'm already retired. It would be like my company. So I'm gonna marry my company. I'm gonna fuck cars and vehicles, and I'm gonna kill cheat meals. James?
Gaming has been around before bodybuilding. Will it be around after? That's the question, you know.
You really love gaming that much you can't picture your life without it, eh?
It's very important.
I wish I loved gaming that much. It seems
because
so
the gaming's it's because it's evolved. Like now where I'm sitting here and then I stream and I have this like chat. It's like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But I'm in the game and we're having this conversation. It's really important as a person. So it's like my social time. But then I wouldn't get rid of I would fuck off. I'd kill the cheat meals, not because I want to, but because out of the three, it's the least important. I'd fuck the bodybuilding. I'd marry the gaming.
Marry the gaming, really?
Marry the gaming, baby.
Holy shit.
Make love to that baby.
We haven't figured out what your fuck thing is.
Fuck things.
If it's vehicles, then vehicles can fuck off, and I'm gonna.
But it's not vehicles because you don't even care about vehicles. It's got to be something you care about. What do you care about? You don't have any hobbies.
Honestly, right now I have family, bodybuilding.
No, it's not bodybuilding for you. It's going to be, let's say, coaching because that's your business. So you have family. Oh, no, for you it would be cheat meals. It would be cheat meals, coaching, and UFC. I don't know. I know you're passionate about UFC, so I don't know.
Oh, so I don't get cheat meals at all. That happens to cheat meals.
If you kill cheat meals, you don't get them.
Cheat meals.
Yeah, but you have to marry, fuck, kill.
Yeah, but you took them off the board. You said UFC, coaching, and
cheat meals.
UFC,
coaching, and cheat meals.
The
thing that sucks about that for you is
kill UFC.
When you watch UFC, you eat cheat meals. So now you can't have. We got to pick one.
Yeah, but so whenever I watch UFC, I have a cheat meal. Yeah. But I also have cheat meals and don't watch UFC.
Okay,
so UFC can go.
You're gonna kill UFC.
The cheat meals are like, especially now. I'm having cheat meals through the fucking day. I'm like,
it's not even a cheat meal. It's not even a cheat meal anymore. It's just your meals.
I had a cheat snack. I had a sandwich and a cheat snack for the podcast. Are you kidding me?
Is it still called a cheat meal if you have no regimen? It's just a meal.
No,
at
it's
that
just
point.
a meal. I just ate. Yeah.
What'd you eat? McDonald's. It's just a meal.
It's just a normal meal for me. Yeah. It's fine.
All right.
No, I do eat pretty good still. What I do is I have like a meal plus an extra. I add something to like I had oats and whey for after I trained this morning for my meal one, and I added some raisins and some honey to it, and I didn't measure it. I just eyeballed it all. Nice.
Oh,
I always add 2 slices of bread and butter to everything. So I eat my meal, chicken and rice, blah, 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 and then there's 2 slices of bread come out of nowhere.
So I had a chicken salad right before the podcast, but I put it between 2 pieces of bread.
Good. I was going to say, what is this? Chicken salad. That's well disappointed.
No, do you know what? I've got on a Caesar salad kit, but I put all the dressing and the cheese and everything on it.
Do you put thingies in there as well? Croutons?
No, I don't like croutons. So
oh my god,
they cut the roof of my mouth.
I'm going to say it now, and this is again not homophobic, but that's a gay salad.
It's a salad, which means it's pretty.
Where's the croutons?
You can't say it's a gay salad. Say it's not homophobic.
In my dictionary, when you use the word gay in that context, it means
James refuses to let go. He's like, I'm just gonna say it's not cool from now on. That way I can, or it's not homophobic. That way,
yeah, because saying not cool doesn't sound cool.
But he's also right, because there's like, think of a politically correct word today, right? As in, I don't know.
Gay meant happy back in the day.
Oh, cool.
He's not right.
In 10 years' time, it could be not politically correct enough.
Yeah, when I say something like that's gay, man, that ain't me saying that takes dick in the arse, man.
I know.
That means it's like, oh, that's whack.
Okay, listen, I agree with you 100%. I used to call people fags all the time. Not because I have a problem with
no, because they're being soft. They're being soft. I know, like
yeah.
you're not being very like strong.
But that being said, if you are gay, then you're probably like offended that someone's using that in a negative connotation.
Man, my gay friends ain't offended when I say gay. They know I ain't being gay.
Look, I'm not.
I love you guys.
Okay, wait, one more, and then we'll go. I have to know the answer to
that. That was a right conundrum. That fucked me up when I said I couldn't know where I was starting and finishing.
What's your opinion on joint tip boxes at places like Starbucks? The laziest worker in the room still benefiting from my tip, and I hate it.
I find it weird in America that you're told to tip. Like in England,
we find it weird in the UK that you have to
wait.
tip.
Aside from that, I know that's weird, but let's just not say Starbucks. Let's say anywhere. Like last time I went to the car wash, they did a really good job on my car, so I gave the guy $10. And I used to work at that car wash. It was one of my first jobs, and I know when people used to tip me, I used to be able to put it in my pocket. So So I gave him 2 5s. I said, because it was 2 guys working on my car, I said, give him the other 5, whatever. He took my $10 and he walked over to a tip box and he put it in the tip box with all the other tips. And I was like, I personally don't care, but I'm giving it to him because he did a good job on my car.
You just want to make sure that they get what you want to give them.
So how do you feel about all the workers splitting the tips?
I always hand the tip to the person.
I did that, but he took it to the tip box and put it in the
tip
box.
That's on him. That's on him then. You know, that's up to him.
I suppose it all works out in the end because everyone's benefiting. But what if there's a couple of like lazy ass workers?
Yeah,
it's hard. What do you think, Samson?
You're supposed to just tell them like, yo, put that in your pocket. That's for you, for your job, not for that lazy dude that's sitting over there. Didn't give
but then the guy feels like he's stealing because they're told to put it all together.
It's probably
but I'm giving it to you though.
Yeah, but now you're gonna get the guy fired because someone's gonna see it and be like, hey, that guy didn't.
I'm like, dude, that's why I'm like, you gotta keep it like in a backhander, like you know when you put it up, hold it up, put it in, shake his hand, like a handshake, like
you're shaking it like that. You're like that, trying to be the sweet.
Yeah.
You gotta say treat yourself in their area.
We used to do that at the strip club when I used to reserve tables for guys at the strip club. They would walk in, they'd have like a 50 in their fucking palm of their hand. They'd shake my hand and be like, "Sweet,
cheers, lad."
Because we weren't allowed to take tips for that shit.
Got a gun in my pocket, but it's all right. I gave you 50 quid. Sweet, take the gun in. It's all right.
Yeah.
That is really so Americanism.
Why you guys don't do that in the UK?
No. Of course not. We don't do tips, dude. That's what
we do have courtesy if we want to.
Wait a minute. So if you're working at a strip club, or if you go to a strip club or a nice club and you want a specific table, you can't give somebody like $50 and be like, I want that table.
Yeah, but that's a bit different.
Yeah,
that's persuasion. That's not tip.
Yeah,
that's the same thing. You're tipping.
That's called crook. That's being a crook.
Well,
that's like
it's not. It's
like you see that geezer.
That's called a backhander. That's not
like you see that geezer. Yeah, I don't like him. I'm going to give you $5,000 to go and shoot him.
I mean, that's a contract, James.
How did we go? How did we go from getting a table to killing this guy?
It's the same context. You're paying
James lives in the gaming world a bit too much.
We do that. We do that all the time on Call of Duty.
Pick him out.
All right, boys. Thank you very much. It was good catching up with all of you, man.
Happy New Year.
We'll catch up next week, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, boys.
Year, guys.
All right. Happy New Year. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care, boys.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out HOSSTILE.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.